Good evening, everyone. So we have assembled here to know the strategy of UPSC, how to conquer UPSC. And we are very much delighted to invite Manoj GS, who have secured All India rank 389 this year. Please welcome him with a big round of applause. So you see, I have very closely watched his success. I really feel that it's my success, not only his success, because I have seen how, dedicatedly he used to come. I mean, I have seen many candidates, we will call, they'll come. But he himself used to every time call, ma'am, I am coming for the interview session, I want more one-on-one. And last year, by a very thin margin, he slipped through the rank. But even after his result, he was not depressed like many people. They go into depression and they take time to overcome that depression and again garner the strength to work again. With the same zeal, he started again. I called him, please come and show me your answer, how you are doing. He came, he has shown me the answer, how he was doing. He got again call for the interview, again with the same zeal as he was doing the last year. He came for the multiple session. So the secret of his success is his unwavering dedication. Unwavering dedication. So what I have realized is that anybody who is putting so much of dedication will definitely get the success. He worked on all the front where he felt that which held him back or which held him back from the success. He worked on everything, on his communication, his skill, on his writing skill, on the knowledge management, everywhere. He made it sure that he is there in the final rank. And from the very beginning, he is a bright candidate from the very beginning. He is a Navodaya student. He studied in Navodaya school and then went to do his engineering from one of the best college, NIT Surathkal. And during his final year of preparation, he started preparing. So you'll also know that how early preparation helps. So I won't take much time and I'll give the stage to Manoj and he will share his success strategy. I hope all of you will get benefited and try to work on those strategy what he will be sharing so that you also see the light of success. So with this, I am handing over the stage to Manoj. And please once again welcome him with a big round of applause. Thank you. Yes, take Manoj.
Hello, I'm audible. So I don't need mic, fine. So let me introduce myself. I am Manoj GS. So I have secured All India rank 389 this year in UPSC CSE 2025. So this is my third attempt and I have given 3 prelims and I have cleared all the 3 prelims with a good margin, like 15 to 20 marks above the cutoff. And I have written 3 mains as well as given 2 interviews. I gave interview in 2024 as well as the 2025 interview, and this year fortunately by God's grace I was able to clear it. And for me, in my journey, whatever the lessons that I have learned so far, so I will try my best to share them with you. And this will be a completely different session that you usually see with topper strategy sessions, because here in UPSC what I feel is that UPSC is not just an exam. UPSC is also about our life. So only when we are able to improve on the non-academic aspect of UPSC, then we would be able to understand what the true demand of the examination is. Then we would be able to clear it. So I would be speaking on both the aspects, that is the academic aspect, that is what is the strategy for prelims, mains and interview, as well as the non-academic aspect. What is the mental attitude that is required? What is the, how should be our mindset? And what should be the qualities that are necessary for cracking the different stages of this examination. So let's start. So first of all, I would begin. I just want to give you a disclaimer. That is my strategy. What I have tried to do is that I have tried to universalize the strategy. That is, there are hundreds of strategy by hundreds of toppers. So I have tried to collect the best inputs from all the toppers and find a pattern among them, what everyone is doing the same, and trying to find that one roadmap that will help in clearing this exam. So I have tried to bring it to that one point. So I have tried to do that. Secondly, my strategy works, and the whole strategy that I am going to work is going to work only if you are able to give 10 to 12 hours of dedicated effort. So if you think that like you may be smart enough to give 5-6 hours of effort and do less than what I have told, but my strategy, the way that time I approach the exam, is going to work only through the dedicated efforts. So I have kept some part of smart work, that is the jugaad, what we call in engineering terms, but at the same time, for as I explained in the session, you will understand that the way that I approach the exam will take a lot of dedicated effort. So this is another disclaimer, and whatever I share is purely genuine, nothing of any promotional aspect or anything. It's what if I find it useful, I would be sharing it with you. That's it. And finally, like, thank you all for being here. I am very confident that you would find this session very useful, and it will give you a lot of clarity, and it will be a 2-hour long session, but you will realize that every minute was worth it. So let us start. So first, let me start with the psychology of the examination. So sometimes we think that UPSC is just like another examination, and we start preparing for it by reading books, by following some materials, and we try to ratamar. We try to take everything in and try to vomit it in the examination and expect that we get the results. But UPSC is a very unique game. As I mentioned, UPSC is also about life itself. So UPSC, let's take the first stage of the examination, that is prelims. So in prelims, what we have to understand is that in prelims, what that examiner is trying to understand, what UPSC is trying to evaluate from us. What UPSC is trying to evaluate from us. So UPSC is trying to know, are we able to critically think during the examination? Are we able to handle that extreme pressure in the examination? For example, only 120 minutes for 100 questions, and out of them 40 questions will be uncertain question, a new one, 40 to 50 questions will be completely new ones. And are we able to identify patterns in PYQs or anywhere in mock tests and all? And also, are we able to prioritize things? For example, if you have given CSAT, you know that how much prioritization plays a role in CSAT success. Only if you are able to choose the right questions properly, then you would be able to crack the CSAT. The same goes to you when you become a civil servant. So UPSC is not trying to look for an aspirant, but UPSC is trying to look for civil servants even before the uniform, even before the badge, or even before the title. That is, UPSC wants you to be an IAS IPS officer during the examination process itself, rather than having that title on after clearing the examination. That is, we can't expect ourselves to clear the examination and from the next day we won't be thinking like IAS IPS officers. We have to develop that qualities from the beginning itself. So in prelims, what is happening is that the UPSC is checking your critical thinking, the same critical thinking that we use as IAS IPS officers. UPSC is trying to understand your prioritization, because as an IAS officer, IPS officer, you would be having hundreds of responsibilities every day, and how would you prioritize them? How would you give value to each work? Is what UPSC is trying to understand. And UPSC is also trying to check your ability to understand, like your ability under pressure. What is your thought process under pressure? UPSC is trying to check that. And come to the mains aspect as well. So in mains, are you able to maintain back-to-back pressure in consecutive examinations? That is, there will be 9 back-to-back papers, right? So in UPSC now, in mains, this format, Pepe format has become very famous. The Pepe format is what? Point, example, point, example. That is, for every point, every argument that you are making, are you able to substantiate that argument with some facts, with some data, statistics? That is, UPSC is trying to make you think empirically and make you think objectively through this, because this format is getting rewarded by most of the toppers. If you see Aditya Srivatsava, Animesh Pradhan, any of the Shakti Dubey, any of the toppers, you will realize that most of the toppers these days are using this format. Why this is getting rewarded? Because you are thinking in an empirical manner. What is thinking in empirical manner? You are not making general arguments. If you are discussing politics, you know that we make generic arguments. But in UPSC, that is not rewarded. When you become an IAS officer, when you are presenting some future plan for the nation, do you think India should become developed nation by 2047? If you argue like that, will the others accept it? Others won't accept it, right? Even the political masters won't accept it. Even the higher bureaucracy or even the people won't accept it. You have to give, these are the roadmaps. So this is the plan, this is the data, this is what the steps we should be taking. When you argue it like that, then you would be successful as a civil servant. The same way, like, have you heard that how many of you have given mains? Prelims? So, okay, fine. So, the same way, in the ethics paper, like, you may have heard that ethics is the lengthiest paper in UPSC preparation. Ask why. Why? Because when you are giving an ethics paper, so if you are given time, let's say, you will fabricate your thought process and you will give some fabricated answers. But when you are put under pressure and you are under time constraints, your true personality comes out. So especially in case studies and all, let's say you are writing a case study and you don't have time at all. So now you don't have even 10 seconds to think, you just have to keep writing. So whatever your original thought process is, that will come out in the real examination, right? So the evaluator is trying to understand what is your true thought process. So if there is a corruption case, what is your thought process? If there is a Naxal case, what is your thought process? If there is a illegal immigration case, which we have to balance with empathy, what is your thought process? UPSC is trying to understand that. So, and nextly, in the interview phase, what the UPSC is trying to understand is your confidence, is the ability of you to communicate in front of 5 people. If you have the confidence and the ability to communicate in front of 5 people, just imagine IAS, IPS, you would be meeting the public every day. You would be talking to hundreds of people. Let's say there is some stampede, there is some issue. So as a police officer, do you think you can be shy? Do you think you can be less confident? You don't have the chance to do that. So you have to be very confident, you have to be clear in what you express, you have to be very argumentative in the way you talk to people. You cannot speak out of emotions, because if you speak out of emotions, the issue will get bigger and bigger rather than solving it. So UPSC is trying to understand that. UPSC is trying to inculcate these qualities in the aspirants from the early days itself through this examination process. That is why those who don't develop these abilities will struggle in the examination. Because I will be very honest, in my first interview, I got overwhelmed. My answers used to be emotional. So, and my thought process, I gave up in between the interview. I got underconfident in between the interview. And I got poor marks. In the second interview, I worked on it and I was able to secure very good marks in the second interview. So, the UPSC, if you make mistakes, the UPSC is trying to asking you to improve from those mistakes and learn from them. And then when you come next year with that improvement, then you would be able to succeed in the examination. So this is the true mindset of the examination. Next page. Next page. Fine. Now, first of all, irrespective of your stage of preparation, let's say you are given 2-3 interviews, and or even you are just a beginner who is in the second year, third year, final year of your college. This is the roadmap that works for everyone. And if you don't understand this roadmap, then you would be struggling throughout your preparation cycle, because this is one of the most basic roadmaps. See, like when I explain it, you will get a better idea. So in your first 9 months, you would be focusing on the foundation as well as the standard books. That is, you would be starting with the NCERT books as well as you would be starting with the standard books. After completing NCERTs from class 9 to 12, you would be starting with standard books. So now let's take a home. So this is the foundation. This is the prelims. And this is the mains, interview, everything. So here, what you have to understand is that without a strong foundation of NCERTs and the standard books, you won't be able to build whatever the stages are there in further, that is prelims and mains. That is, this strong foundation is very important. But understand that once you start building a home, the foundation will go underground. The foundation won't be visible at all. So like what happens is that, let's say like I have heard so many people saying that like revise Lakshmikant 10 times, 20 times. These foundational books, NCERT books, standard books, they act as foundation. But whatever you do after that foundation is what is going to help you clear prelims and mains. That is, so many people ask me, which book should I refer for economics? Nitin Singhania, Vivek Singh, Ramesh Singh, and those many books. It doesn't matter, because every book is a foundational book. Don't expect a magical solution. Foundation also includes coaching also. I will address that point also. Don't expect a magical solution from coaching, from foundational aspects. These are there just to give you an idea of concepts. Just because you have read, you have strengthened this so much, that doesn't mean your house is built. What you do after the foundation is what matters for clearing prelims and mains. So that is, it doesn't matter if you refer Vivek Singh, if you refer Nitin Singhania or anyone for economics, as long as you have a good foundation. So you are solid on this aspect. And for prelims, PYQs, practice, and for mains, test series, topper copies, all those aspects, they are what is going to help you in clearing this exam. So understand the difference. So many people I have seen are get stuck in this loop only. So like there are 17 subjects, if I am not wrong, in mains itself. So that is, they will start with book number 1, subject number 1, then subject number 2, 3. Then by the time they come to subject number 5, they have forgotten subject number 1. 6, they have forgotten subject number 2. And 17 they have completed. Again they will start one subject number 1 because they forgot everything. And they are stuck in this loop. This will itself cost 2-3 years if you have not understand that this is just the foundation. The game lies here, not repeating this again and again. It doesn't matter if you strengthen this foundation even with gold, even with titanium. The foundation is foundation only. So the game lies here. So please understand this aspect. Now here, let's say you have strengthened the foundational aspect. Now you still don't know what the demand of the examination is. So you have read, let's say NCERTs. So let's say you have read NCERTs and the standard books. Standard books also I will be giving the list that I followed, that I will give later. ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರಬೇಕು. Yeah. So standard books, you are given one reading. Now in this part, when you are reading NCERTs and standard books, for the first reading, you don't have to take the notes. Just if you like, some people are like can understand things only if they scribble it down. Scribble, don't take notes, because you still don't know what to take notes for. You haven't understand what is the demand of the examination. So what happens is that most of the people, Lakshmikant, they will start writing everything paragraph to paragraph in their notes. So this paragraph, every paragraph, you are taking a Xerox, not a notes. Notes is for our understanding. Then if you are Xeroxing it, like what is the use of your notes? You can directly refer Lakshmikant, right? So that is, don't take notes in this aspect. Now the most critical aspect, this 1 year is for foundational aspect, for both prelims, for both GS as well as optional. This 1 year. So it can vary according to the individual. I am just giving a roadmap for absolute beginner. So this 1 year you are done with. Now let's say, in this, after completing your foundational reading, just you are read, you have understood nothing, it's fine. You have understood some concepts, you do not have clarity, much clarity, it's fine. This part comes the PYQs, the mains PYQs. In this part, you should be looking at the mains PYQs. GS1, essay, GS1 to 3, 4, you are optional. All the PYQs, just go through it. Go through it in the sense, not just reading the PYQs. Take one PYQ from what you have read. What can you answer? Just think. Just think. So, question number 1. Oh, I have read something about agriculture. So, question number 2. There is a question on governor. So, I read that article 153 in Lakshmikant. I have read article 200 in Lakshmikant. So, do it like that. So, then, once you have analyzed the PYQs, just gone through the PYQs, now you know the true demand of the exam. That is, the UPSC itself is giving a roadmap on what to study further. Now, because you have already prepared this phase, when you look at the PYQ phase, you are able to understand. You are able to answer even 2-3 points. You cannot answer all the 10 points, you are able to answer 2-3 points. Governor, I read about some challenges about governor in Lakshmikant. Like that, you would be able to understand. But once you have analyzed it, now go to the second reading. Here starts your next 6 months of mains preparation. So, like I will give you a roadmap here. So, let's say you are starting from June here. June 2026. Now, for the next 1 year, as I told, June 2027, you will be focusing on your 3 months for optional and 9 months for standard books and all. Now, next 6 months till Jan 2027-28, you would be focusing solely on first PYQs, 1 month for PYQs, then solely on your mains preparation. Now, because you have gone through the PYQs, you would be balancing between one thing, your books. Now, when you go to Lakshmikant back, you immediately see that in mains, oh, they asked about challenges, they asked about way forward. So, I should be noting it this part down. So, now you know what to take notes for. So, your note making journey begins from here. Now, even when you are preparing for mains, now you will substantiate with, now you will take every mains question, copy paste it to one thing, Google. Copy paste every question that is given in mains into Google. Immediately Google will give you 2-3 websites, 2-3 solutions. For every question, it will give you 2-3 websites. For example, let's say there will be some solutions from Civils Daily, some solutions from Only IAS, some will be from Vajiram Interview. Now you will go through those solutions. In one solution, let's say the introduction and conclusion are good. In another solution, examples are good. In another solution, quotes are good. Now you are taking that notes. So in my case, let's say you are preparing on governor. So this is a theme. So governor theme, take the theme of the question, make a notes on it. Now start taking down the notes. Now you have to do it for 6 months for all the PYQs. Every PYQ in mains. I will tell why it is important, but for every PYQ cannot be missed at all, especially from the year 2013 to 2025. 2013 to 2025, you cannot be missing on it. So did you understand this aspect so far? Now, so we are in Jan 2028. Now for next 6 months till May 2028, we should be focusing on prelims. So those 6 months are dedicatedly for prelims. Now first month, as I told you, first month, second month, you will focus solely on each keyword given in the PYQ. Each keyword. You are not just looking at the question and the solution. 2025 question number 1. Oh, this is the solution. That is not how we analyze PYQs. You don't need to look at the solution. Take every keyword. For example, let's say there is a question on quantum mechanics and all. So let's say there is a concept called as decoherence, quantum entanglement. You know, options itself. Now you will go back. What is quantum entanglement? What is quantum decoherence? You will go through every keyword that is given in PYQ, because 50 to 60% of the questions in prelims get repeated directly from keywords of PYQ. So this is what we should be doing for the first 2 months. Why? Why? Because there is a beautiful quote from Abraham Lincoln. If I am given 8 hours to cut down a tree, I will spend 6 hours sharpening the blade. That is, until and unless you know the demand of the exam, you are just stuck in a loop. You don't know what to cut. You don't know how to swing your sword, how to swing your axe. You don't know that. First 2 months purely for PYQ. Every keyword, like you are understanding how difficult it is, right? How humongous task it is. Every keyword you have to analyze. And for subjects like economy, polity, and history, which are static, you have to go back till 1990s. Because economy, let's say economy is an evolving subject, it is becoming analytical. But 1990s question used to be somewhat static, factual oriented. For economics, you don't need to go that far. But for history, polity, the questions usually are factual only. So when you go that back, there is a possibility that some questions can be picked directly from 1994 in 2026. That has happened in last year only, in 2025 prelims only. 2-3 questions from 1990s got repeated in polity and history. If you go through the prelims PYQs, you will realize that. So for the next month, I will tell the roadmap for prelims as well. So this is till May 2028, and after that, till in August 2028, you will be writing your mains. You will be writing your mains. So for those 3 months, dedicated value addition, dedicated answer writing, dedicated practice, test series, everything for the mains aspect. So now after August 2028, your interview will be around December, January. So next 3 months till December 2028, you would be focusing on your improving your interview preparation. So am I clear on this? So this is the roadmap for 30 months. So let's say what happens is that, because so many people are stuck in this aspect only, for 2-3 years of their preparation, they don't even move to the next phase, that is PYQs and dedicated mains preparation through topper copy analysis, PYQ solving, then content enrichment. They don't even move to this aspect. Even during prelims preparation, they are stuck in this only. Did you understand? Like even during prelims preparation, people are reading Lakshmikant again and again. I am not saying we shouldn't be reading, but that shouldn't be the sole thing that we are doing. In 6 months, you are not just covering 17 subjects and you cannot expect yourself to clear the prelims. So did you understand this aspect? So don't be stuck in this aspect. Move on to the other phase. And people say, no sir, like I don't know what to do here. So what should be my approach? there is a beautiful quote there as well. That is, you would learn to swim only when you jump into the water. Without getting wet, you can never learn to swim. Start PYQ analysis on your own. Like what I said is a very simple approach, right? That is it a magical solution? No. Copy paste it to Google. Google will give 3 answers. Learn from it, and then take good quality answers. Introduction, a very good introduction. Conclusion, take good quality aspect. This can be doable, right? And for me, like I will talk about use of technology, that is ChatGPT and all. That also I usually complement with this PYQ analysis. So let's say now governor, let's say there are questions in 25, 24, 21 in mains what I am telling. Now you don't make separate notes for each question, you will make notes for the theme, the governor theme. Now let's say from one question you have taken 10 points. Now from other question you took 2-3 points, club them all together under a single notes. And in note making, make sure that you are not writing down what you already know. And your notes shouldn't be written in paragraphs. Why I am saying is that, just let's say, local self-governance. I am writing 73 and 74. What does they mean? 73rd and 74th amendment. Then I am writing principle of subsidiarity. I am not writing what is principle of subsidiarity. Principle of subsidiarity is devolution from upwards towards state government towards, so devolution at the lowest level. I am not writing down that. Why? Why? Because this is a very unorthodox approach of note making. Why? Because your notes should be there for your revision. And when you revise, you should be challenging your mind. So that is, when you look at it, let's say you wrote principle of subsidiarity, and when you are revising again, you are not able to understand. Oh, I wrote principle of subsidiarity, but what does this mean? I forgot. That means you have not understood that concept. Now you will go back and look at what is principle of subsidiarity. There lies your own effort. There lies your own critical thinking. If you write the whole principle of subsidiarity, this and this, you are not challenging your brain. You are not challenging your brain to think. So this is how we should be taking notes. So in keywords, and most of you may already felt it. If you are preparing for 1 year of UPSC, 6 months will go just for note making. And so many people, there are others also, like using 10 markers, beautifying that. See, I am not saying they are not useful, but in the end, every hour of yours is precious, because every hour you are wasting, your competitor is utilizing that 1 hour to beat you in the own game that you are playing. So another 2 aspects, I am just going off the note, just so that you would understand the process even better. I am going off the note. That is, in UPSC, never ever expect spoon feeding. Spoon feeding. What is spoon feeding? UPSC is not your 10th board examination. UPSC is not your engineering or semester examination. UPSC, the most important quality of UPSC is the ability to make decisions on your own. How would you do it? Only if you have put your own effort. That is why I always say, see, in the end, when you become an IAS IPS officer, don't you think under a difficult situation, you will be asking any other, your mentor, sir, what should I do? You would be taking decisions on your own. So that own decision comes from your thought process. But if you are, let's say, now you are taking coaching from India's best faculty. So I am one of the highest scores in CSAT. You are taking guidance from me. So what happens is that, do you really think you will clear if without your own effort? CSAT, what is CSAT? CSAT is all about practice. If you practice maths, you will improve on it. Even if you are absolute beginner. If you don't practice it, you will be doomed. Even if you take guidance from someone who has scored 200 out of 200, if you are not put in your effort, then you are not going to succeed. So that is, let's say, you are going for a 2-hour session, coaching or any class. In those 2 hours, if I have to come and teach you, that means behind those 2 hours, I have put in 10-15 hours of effort just to explain you better, right? Then where is your effort? Where is your effort? That is why, like, we have to develop that critical thinking on our own. That is why I always say, first try to study things on your own. NCERT, standard book, just try. You won't understand it, I know. Just try. Then if you don't find it, if you are not understanding it, then go back to the videos or go back to any mentor suggestions for that. If you outsource your own thinking to your own mentors, you won't be able to do it in prelims and mains when you are the one who is writing the exam. In the end, you have to sit in the examination hall, you have to think and you have to write. But if you are not doing it right now, you won't be able to do it in the examination hall also. That is one of the biggest challenges that I have seen, especially in Chandra layout, especially in any UPSC ecosystem. That is, people expect some magical solutions. Oh, if I attend SIRS classes, I would be mains expert. I would be getting 130 in ethics. That's not the case. See, in one of the biggest reasons for me clearing this exam is I started my own approach. That is, I started prepare completely on my own from the beginning days. From when I was in college only, I did not have any mentor. I didn't have any guidance. So I had to do research everything on my own. I have to commit the mistakes, learn from them. But in the end, they shaped me into a person who could understand the examination better. But if you outsource your thinking to coaching, you are not able to move ahead in the examination process. You would always be stuck in this loop. That is why, even if you are not understanding, just first give it a try. Polity, like I will just attend a class and think that I will become Lakshmikant. That's not the case. First read the book on your own, Lakshmikant. Read it on your own. Whatever little you understand, it's fine. And how to read Lakshmikant? I have seen people, what they're doing is that, let's say you are taking, I will complete Lakshmikant in 20 days. So after that, for next 15 days, I will move on to geography. So you are just flipping the pages, not understanding anything. So you just want to complete that book and keep it aside. I would suggest a different approach. Whatever the new keyword, be it English keyword, just not non-technical keyword, or be it technical keyword like principle of subsidiarity. Most of you don't know principle of subsidiarity. But if the new keyword is there, stop there. In your first reading only, stop there. Be curious. What is this? This is a very new keyword to me. I don't know the meaning of it. Research it. What does that keyword say? Research it. Then next go on to the book. Next complete the chapter. Then if you find a new keyword, stop there. See what happens, I will tell. So people usually think of 3 readings. I will complete 3 readings. So by the 3rd reading, I would be economics professor. First reading, they will be like, oh, I will complete first reading. Anyways, because I am doing 2nd and 3rd reading, I will first fastly complete first reading. Then 2nd reading. Oh, because I have already completed first reading, now I won't do 2nd reading in depth. Now 3rd reading is what your notes. Your notes is not your analysis, your notes is just Xerox. So you have completed 3 readings, and 3 readings for 17 subjects. They take 3 years, 2-3 years there itself. Right? Even after that, you are not understood anything because you are not put in your own thought there. You are just, what is happening there is that you are just trying to rattamar everything. Rattamar polity, I will rattamar and then vomit it in the exam. You don't need to do that. Because do you really think it's humanly possible to rattamar 17-20 subjects and vomit it in the mains exam? You can't. Humanly you can't. And don't take it the wrong way. Don't take it the wrong way. I have read Lakshmikant in 2022. After that, I haven't touched Lakshmikant only. Why? Because as I told you, Lakshmikant is just the foundation. Lakshmikant is just the foundation. The real game lies after Lakshmikant. What you do after that for prelims means what you do after that, there the real game lies. So that is, see, just imagine, just give it your own thought process. Every person who is preparing for UPSC is reading Lakshmikant. Then everyone should be getting 14 out of 14 correct in prelims. Right? Why not? Why not? That is because Lakshmikant is not the game. Lakshmikant is just the foundation. The real game is after the Lakshmikant. So that is why don't expect spoon feeding. You are aspiring to be a civil servant where you have to make your own decisions. Nobody is going to spoon feed you when you are a civil servant. The same case that is being expected in prelims as well, mains as well, interview as well. That is, see, I am not boasting at all. I cracked prelims when I was in college only. That is, I graduated in April 2023. May 2023, I wrote prelims. If you ask your seniors, May 2023 was one of the most brutal prelims ever there is. And in that prelims, I scored around 9500. That is 25 marks above the cutoff. Do you think it's a fluke? If you think it's a fluke, ask me what I did before. I practiced 15,000 MCQs. 15,000 MCQs. How many of you are giving prelims 2026? 26, 27? Now go to your room, take any 2 test series, test, full length test. Just try to attend 200 questions per day. You will realize how humongous task it is. And I am saying here 15,000 MCQs. You will realize the effort that I have put in. Did you understand? Why I did that, I will explain further when I am explaining prelims specifically. I was able to analyze things on my own. I was trying to predict things, probability analysis, probability mapping. I was doing all those things. I was developing my own thought process. That is that because my engineering background, I gave JEE examination. So that helped me to crack objective based examinations. So that is for prelims and mains. For prelims especially objective based examination, there is no substitute to practice. The same goes for mains also. So one thing, what happens is that most of you have already felt that way. You give one full length test, you get 40 marks, 50 marks. Oh, I am not prepared. I have to cover this syllabus. I have to cover this revision. Then you won't give another mark only. The same goes with answer writing. You will write one answer, two answer. Oh, I am writing this rubbish answer. I am not, like my standard is not high. I will revise again. You will, like, let's say you wrote a polity answer, not a good answer. Oh, I don't know anything. You will go back to Lakshmikant once again. Again, you are stuck in the. This is the most important reason for failure in UPSC. Because you are not even moving to the phases 3, 4, 5, 6. You are stuck in your own phases 1 and 2. So that is, don't outsource your thinking. Even if you don't know anything, put your own efforts. Because see, what happens is that when you outsource your thinking and when you start developing thinking in your own way. See, I am not against any coaching. I am just seeing this purely for the goodwill. That is, let's say you are going to a coaching without reading anything. Minimum, you haven't even read NCERTs. Final year I graduated, I joined some coaching, I am attending classes. Then what happens is that the thought process, when the teacher teaches, you will be restricted to that thought process. Economics, you will be restricted to that thought process. So let's say you wrote, the teacher taught you about repo rate, but didn't teach you about reverse repo rate. Because you have not put your own effort, you will be remembering only repo rate. You won't be able to connect how repo rate is connected to reverse repo rate. So sometimes in coaching, the restriction of thought process happens. If your thought process is restricted, then 100% you will be failing in the exam. Because I give this example all the time. In how many of you, most of you have given prelims, so you will be knowing that there are 200 international organizations to revise, to know about World Bank, that bank, UNESCO. UNESCO has 10 bodies, then UNICEF, then unknown bodies. Then what happens? You are prepared for all the 200. You did all the effort. UPSC will ask about World Toilet Organization. If you have gone through the PYQs, World Toilet Organization is the question. Do you think it's possible to cover everything? And then let's say you are reading 200 national parks. Do you think it is humanly possible to cover 200 national parks? Then 200 sanctuaries are there. Then 200 wetlands are there. Do you think it's humanly possible? If you don't have your own thought process, you won't be able to identify patterns. You won't be able to analyze things. See, people say that after prelims, oh, this is a common sense based question. Why I was not able to solve it? This is a logical elimination based question. Why I was not able to solve it? What is common sense? Common sense is your ability to apply your knowledge rightly. That is the common sense. From whatever you have learned, from whatever knowledge is, just applying them in a right manner is called common sense. In prelims, if you are written prelims 2025, you will realize that 15 questions can be solved by common sense. You don't even need any preparation for UPSC. If you have the basic common sense, basic awareness, basic understanding of the things happening around you, you would be able to solve those questions. Right? Go through PYQ 2025 question paper only. Go through it yourself. Why will you trust me? Don't trust me also. Do your own research and find out. Just because Manoj is saying, oh, UPSC is all about common sense, why are you trusting me? Even my ways can be fluke. My ways can also be wrong. Find your own way. Find your own effort, put your own effort and find your own way. That is what I am trying to suggest here. So the most important point is, in any of these phases, don't outsource your thinking. Your coaching, whatever strategy that you see from toppers, whatever the speech that I am giving, everything is complementary. It is just for your value addition, just for your right direction. They shouldn't be your primary source of preparation. Coaching shouldn't be your primary source of preparation. Your preparation should be your own effort. If let's say, today they completed one chapter from geography, the Indian monsoon. Go to room for 4 hours study. Try to think on your own. So they talked about westerlies, they talked about easterly jet stream, they talked about the El Nino effect, they talked about this Indian Ocean dipole. Try to connect. Oh, how do they connect? Try to read. Now use books. Now you will go through the book, the standard book, any standard book, to understand that concept. Now you will go through the YouTube videos for better understanding. So what happens is that people go to coaching for 9 months, they will make the notes and they think that their preparation is done. In that case, everyone who is taking coaching, quality coaching, should be clearing it. But if you look, this year out of 958 people, if you go through them, 700 plus haven't taken any coaching at all, foundational coaching. Right? I'm not discouraging any coaching. I'm not discouraging. But what I am saying is that coaching is not Amruta. Coaching is not the elixir. Coaching is not the one-stop solution. Coaching is there just to give you one direction. This is what you should be reading. This is what you should be understanding. After your coaching, your own effort begins. That is, this 30-month roadmap is for those who are putting their own effort. Let's say you took 2 years of coaching. After that, you started doing this. Then you are taking 4.5 years of UPSC cycle, 5 years of UPSC cycle. That too, if you clear it in the first attempt. After this whole cycle is completed. Let's say you went to interview and you have to go through this loop again. That means you have to take 5 years, 6 years. just to understand the process. After coaching 2 years, 1 year, 2 year, just to understand the process, you have to go through another 3-4 years. So that is why usually people clear it at their 4th, 5th attempts. The reason is that they have understood the demand finally. Oh, the mains is all about my thinking. Prelims is all about my thinking. They have understood it finally after 2 years. Now they start this cycle. This cycle is compulsory for everyone. Whatever anyone says, whatever strategy anyone comes up with, this is compulsory cycle for everyone. So, yeah, in this cycle starts your own real preparation for UPSC. So, in my case, what happened was that because I didn't take coaching, I lost 1 year, but I had to put 1.5 years, 2 years of effort. Right? Means if I had taken coaching, it would have been completed in 9 months. But because I was doing everything on my own, I took 1.5 years, 2 years, 1.5, 2 times the effort that is required if you go to coaching. But because I did everything on my own, when I wrote mains, the thought process was my own. When I wrote prelims, the complete thought process was my own. So by the time I wrote my second mains, that is in second attempt, I was able to clear mains. And by the time I wrote my third attempt, I was able to clear the whole process. Did you understand what I am telling? So this is the most important aspect nobody tells you. That is the importance of your own thinking. Put your own effort. Just because you see a concept, don't immediately run to coaching or mentor or anything. Sit down and research for 5-10 minutes. Let it take some time. If it is a very important concept, let it take some time. Now do your research. What is Westerlies? You don't know. Google it. If you don't understand, YouTube there will be concepts. Then you are understanding everything. Then because you are doing everything on your own, you would be able to connect it better. Oh, I read about Fed rate that day, I researched about it. Now you are reading about inflation in India, how Fed rates affect inflation in India. So Fed rates, because they affect repo rate in India, repo rate affect inflation in India. You will be able to form connections like this. So there is a very beautiful another quote. This is called as knowledge. Knowledge is what? Your ability to take in points. And this is called as wisdom. The ability to connect points. This is the reason for success in CSAT. This is the reason for success, especially in economics. Economics, if you have written one prelims, you will know that whatever you read and whatever they ask in prelims is completely different. Right? You are like, I haven't even read this. Or the forming questions. Because economics is all about analysis. That ability to connect things together. If you outsource there itself, you are doomed in economics. That is why in my 3 attempts, if there are 15 economics questions, I was able to get 13, 14 correct. In my all 3 attempts. That is called a sweep. You know sweep, right? Sweeping. Clean sweep in cricket. So I was able to sweep that economic subject. That is why I was able to get 45 out of 50 questions correct in CSAT. Mathematics questions I am telling. Mathematics 45 out of 50 I was able to get it correct. You think that it is talent. Oh, Manoj, he is from Indian National Mathematics Olympiad background. He studied in NITK Surathkal. So he has a very strong mathematics. That is why he was able to do it. Do you think mathematics, like God gave me that mathematics? 11th and 12th, every day we used to write 3 JEE tests. 3 JEE tests. If you write 1 JEE test only, you will understand how exhausting that is. If you have to write 3 per day, you are putting so much effort that there is no excuse that you are failing. There is a very beautiful quote. Put so much effort that it would be unreasonable for you to fail. That is, there is a, I always say this story. Why do people from Bihar, Uttar Pradesh succeed so well in railway, SSC exams and all? Why? They practice 40,000, 50,000 MCQs. They practice so much that they have to get the same question they have practiced in the real exam as well. They practice it so much that there is no questions left to be formed from that particular concept. They can change the numericals. They can make 10, 15. But they have practiced all the questions that can be asked from that particular concept. So put so much effort that it would be unreasonable for you to fail. So this is the aspect. That is why, again, I am repeating this again. Don't outsource your thinking. It may take some time. It will take humongous hard work, but it is worth it. Otherwise, you will find it very difficult to clear this exam. Because in the end, if you don't think on your own, if you don't put your hard work, the person who is thinking on their own and the person who is putting the hard work will move ahead of you. UPSC is a very brutal examination. Very brutal. UPSC doesn't care about your background. UPSC doesn't care about whether you are from Kannada medium, English medium, doesn't care. UPSC doesn't care about in which IIT you have studied, in which college you have studied. UPSC doesn't care about anything. UPSC doesn't care about who is your father is. Is he a IAS officer? Is he a farmer? UPSC doesn't care. All UPSC cases, are you able to give your dedicated efforts in the right direction? That's it. So, have you understood so far? Now, let me move to the prelims preparation. So, do you have any doubts so far? So, how many of you have read Lakshmikant? How many of you have read Lakshmikant? How many of you haven't? One thing that doesn't work in UPSC is hesitation. If you have read it, raise your hands. If you haven't read it, don't raise your hands. Because the same formula. If you become an IAS officer, do you think really you can really hesitate on your decision making? RCB stampede happened. Do you think because if your own small hesitation can take away the lives of so many people? Because if you are an SP of the district, the lives of the people are at your hand. If you hesitate your decision even by 1 hour, there are lives of people at stake. There is welfare of people at stake. You can't hesitate, right? Then do you really think you can do that today when you are preparing for UPSC? Do you think you will clear this exam March 6th and March 7th you won't be hesitating at all? See, like UPSC is not a space for introverts. I am making a controversial statement. UPSC is not a space for introverts. The reason is that you have to deal with 50, 100, minimum 100 people every day. Do you think I am an introvert? I will just sit down in my office cabin, I will do all the work. It doesn't happen. Because if you are an IPS officer, you have to speak in front of 100 people. That is why you have to develop the ability of communication. That is the ability of talking to others, right? So another aspect. So this is first aspect. So how many of you are read Lakshmikant? Now how many of you know about gubernatorial powers? Gubernatorial powers. Now I will give you 1 minute. 1 minute. You have mobiles, right? Open your mobile, search what is gubernatorial powers. If I say, that is my hard work. If I say, I have understood what is gubernatorial, that is my hard work. Where is your hard work? Do research on your own. Tell me what is gubernatorial powers. What is it? The powers of governor are called as gubernatorial powers. Now you got a new keyword. Right? Did you read it in Lakshmikant? You didn't. Because I put my own effort, I was able to know this keyword. I will tell you another beautiful example. How many of you have read ethics? So for ethics, how many of you know the concept of Nishkam Karma? Nishkam Kama. I guess most of you know about it. Nishkam Kama is performing our duties without any expectations of the results. Everyone knows about it because you have read it in the theory. So when you go to mains, everyone will have you write the same point, Nishkam Kama. Then why should evaluator give you an additional half marks? Right. Now, tell me what is karma phala tyaga? Karma phala tyaga. The same as Nishkam Kama, karma phala tyaga. But it is a unique keyword. Now, let's say there are 100 copies. Evaluator has seen Nishkam Kama in 99 copies. And in one copy he is seeing some new word called as karma phala tyaga. But both are same meanings. The evaluator will give half marks to the guy who has written that new keyword, right? This is the competition. This is the way we approach things. In the end, what you have to do is that you have to find your own thinking, your own way of doing things. If you follow the crowd, you would always be behind the crowd. Beat the crowd. Carve your own path. It may be a difficult path, but in the end, it is your own path, right? See, karma phala tyaga, I got to learn because I have put in my own research. I have put in so much effort just for that single keyword. But for that single keyword gives me half marks. And when I come to mains, I will tell the importance of half marks. Now, first let's understand prelims. So far, pura gyan diya maine. Full philosophy, I am telling everything. Now let's come to the real game, prelims. Prelims, 4-pillar strategy. This is for the people who are in the 4th stage. You understood the 4th stage, right? This is the 4th stage. For those who have completed this phase, I am telling. Minimum these 2 phases, they should have completed, then this 4th stage is applicable. Now, for 6 months of preparation, what you are doing is PYQ analysis. The same approach you did in your book also. When you are reading Lakshmikant, you went through every keyword. In PYQs also, go through every keyword. Aratta, how many of you know Aratta? Aratta was there in 2014 or 2018 PYQ. Direct question it got asked in UPSC 2025. If you missed that, and if your competitor didn't miss it, what will happen? You will be out of the race, right? If you missed Aratta, that is already being asked in PYQs, and if your competitor didn't miss it, your competitor will get through. That is, first, I'm going off the note. That is, first understand the competition. Then, whatever I say to prelims, mains, interview, you will understand it better. 10 lakh people give the exam. Out of that, how many clear prelims? Even 12,000 something. 12,300 for 13,000, let's say. Clear prelims. How many IIT seats are there in India? There are 18,000 IIT seats. That means there are less people clearing prelims than the number of IIT seats in India. Right? Now, in these 12,000 seats, 2,700 gave the interview this year with me. Only 2,700. Only. And out of that, 958 got selected. Out of that, 330 will become IAS IPS officer. Even if you get IRS, you have to give again for IAS IPS. Even if you become anything else, you have to give again for IAS IPS. Right? So, these 330 is where you want to be. Right? This is your aim, right? Yeah. So now, understand what happens in this 958. I am not trying to demotivate you. I am trying to give you a grass reality check. Out of those 958, this year 300 people who cleared were already in service. That is, last year they were IPS, IRS. Now they want IAS. Again they are rating IRS, IMS, any service. 300 people are already in service. 200, 300 people will be like me, We have already one interview experience. That means we know how to tackle mains, but we missed somewhere here and there, and we are not in the final list last year. That is why we are giving again. And there will be people like Dhananjay Anna who gave 2-3 interviews already. Right? So some 200 people will be like that. Another 200 people will be those have multiple mains experience. They have given 3 mains, 4 mains. And among them, you are competing for that one seat. Right? And you are competing with whom? You are competing with IIT Kharagpur students, IIT Kanpur, IIT Bombay students, which are India's best institutes. You are competing with MBBS, MD graduates. You are competing with the foreign returns. You are competing with World Bank returns. Right? But why don't all the people from IITs clear it? Why there are some certain cases where you are from a very basic engineering college, where you are from vernacular language, vernacular background, but you are able to clear it? The reason is that hard work beats talent whenever talent doesn't work hard enough. What is that? Hard work beats talent whenever talent doesn't work hard enough. Let's say they are giving 10 hours, give 15 hours. Over the long term, if you take 2-3 years, if you are giving that many hours, you would be able to beat them. Because of your 15 hours of effort, you are showing more dedication, you are showing more effort than they do. That is the only way to beat the competition. There is a like Usain Bolt's quote only. That is, the only way to beat the competition is to move ahead of it. Right? Say, let's say you are running with 5 people. The only way to beat them is to move ahead of them. How will it happen? It happens through hard work. There is a very beautiful quote from Usain Bolt. For running 10 seconds, I have practiced for 18 years. For running that 9.58 world record, I have practiced for 18 years. Same goes here also. That is why, understand this aspect, understand this competition. Now come to prelims. So prelims there is more competition here, prelims. Because you are competing with someone who has already have multiple prelims experiences also. Right? They have clear prelims, but they haven't written mains. Or they have written 2-3 prelims and finally they have understood the game. You are competing with them also. But the only way to beat them is through strategies. Think strategies. So now first, how would you approach it? Through PYQs. First 2 months for prelims, you would approach through PYQs. You will do research on every keyword. Use ChatGPT. That I will come later, technology. Use ChatGPT, use Google, use YouTube, whatever you know, use until you understand what does that mean. Right? Now, first 2 months, next 4 months are left. So syllabus coverage, you have already covered it in first 2-3 phases. Syllabus you have finally covered. There is some current affairs, there is some value addition that you would be doing simultaneously along with your PYQ coverage. Then comes the game of practice. Practice. As I told you, you will give 1 mock. You will think, oh, I am getting only 50, the cutoff is 90. You will get demotivated. Oh, I have to cover that syllabus, I have to cover this revision. But understand that prelims is a game of MCQs. So, if you have gone through my Telegram channel, I have already posted it there. There is a beautiful scene from Indiana Jones movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark. So, what happens is that a guy with 10-15 years of sword practice comes in. 10-15 years of sword practice with doing all this. Then, he comes into fight with Indiana Jones. Jones takes his gun, shoots that guy, moves ahead. Prelims is a game of guns. Practice it with guns. Prelims, if it is a game of guns and you are practicing it sword for 10-15 years, you won't be able to clear it. Right? So that is what I did in my first attempt. In all the attempt I did it, but first attempt though I didn't know anything. I know that I have to practice. So in my first attempt I gave 15,000 MCQs. See, I will try to explain here how this works. Just because 15,000 doesn't mean I took random 15,000 MCQs, solved them. Not like that. Even here, like if you have gone through PYQs, when you write a test, mock test, you know that some questions are UPSC standard and some questions will never be asked by UPSC. They are banking SSB level. You would be able to differentiate between good questions and bad questions in mocks only if you have solved PYQs thoroughly. That means if you don't have done it, if you haven't done it, this becomes waste. Because now you are being directionless. So I will tell one good example, that is you are writing one mock test with 100 MCQs. One mock test, full length mock test. Out of those 100 MCQs, here only let's say there are 70 good questions. 30 UPSC will never ask. Some useless questions are there. They are called as redundant questions. Fine. Out of the 70 questions, whatever you learn is what is going to help you in clearing prelims, not in those 30 questions. But if you haven't analyzed PYQs, you will think all 100 questions are important. You will start analyzing all the 100 questions. If you write 10 tests only, there you are getting 1,000 new themes, new concepts. Now you are running behind everything. Oh, they have asked about that weapon. That gun has 5.5 caliber. That gun has 2-inch length. You are running behind everything if you haven't gone through PYQs. That is why even knowing what the 70 good questions are happens only if you have gone through PYQs. So that is why first 2 months PYQ is non-negotiable. After that, so what happens when you practice is that just what happens is that the probability mapping happens. Probability mapping is the most basic concept of UPSC. Probability mapping is the concept in AI also. What is AI? AI is artificial intelligence. Our brain is also intelligence. Our brain is natural intelligence. That is why we call computers as artificial intelligence. So in probability mapping and predictive analysis, see how do we ride bike and car? Through predictive analysis. Our brain, based on the previous data it has stored, brain will be like, you have to take a turn here, you have to bend your bike here, you have to. So that happens unconsciously. We don't consciously think about it. The same way, predictive analysis and probability mapping happens in prelims also. So let's say you wrote 10,000 MCQs. 10,000 MCQs. Don't you think if a concept is important, you will be getting minimum 10 to 15 questions from that concept? Minimum 10 to 15 questions out of those 10,000 questions. So you will be getting 10 to 15. Now what is happening is that, let's take a very simple concept only, governor. So here you got question number 1 wrong, question number 2 wrong, 3 wrong, 4 wrong, 5 wrong, 6 wrong. But by the 7th time, because your brain has already identified the pattern, your brain has already learned from previous experiences. 7th question you will be getting it right. 8th question you may get it wrong if you don't have if you add some blind spot in your understanding of that concept. Again 9th you will get correct, 10th you will get correct. Do you think if you practice 10 to 15 questions per theme, is there any new question that can be asked from that particular concept? Some new surprises that you will get from that question? You won't. Because 10 to 15 questions per theme itself is, see what happens there, I am telling 3 things. 1, your brain is identifying patterns. Oh, questions can be framed like this from this particular theme. So your brain starts predicting the next question, what can be the next question. The second thing, what is happening here is that when you practice 10 to 15 questions, your brain, let's say you got question number 1 wrong. So this is the psychology of human beings. That is, we remember losses. We remember losses more than we ever remember victories. Whenever our brain's ego gets hurt, we remember it for longer time. So that is get your brain ego out. So you got question number 1 wrong, question number 2, 3 wrong, 4 wrong. Like let's say you read governor. Oh, I have understood governor really well. You got question number 1, 2, 3, 4 wrong. Your brain will be like, what? I have read this concept, I have understood this concept, but I am unable to solve. Why? Let's say then you got the same question in prelims. Your brain will be like, I have already made a mistake in this question, I won't repeat it. So your brain, so that is why through practice get your brain hurt, ego hurt. Brain will remember it for a longer time. So that is the concept of core and peripheral memory. In prelims, what happens is that we know the answer between option A and B, it has to be the answer. But we can't choose it because it is in our peripheral memory. Make it a part of core memory through practice. Because when you get your brain's ego out, even like if I say, remember the moment that has motivated you clear this exam, what is your motivation? You will always remember someone scolding, telling that you can't do it, right? You will remember that point first, because your brain don't like getting hurt. Do that for prelims also. When you solve so much, when you practice so much, your brain itself will unconsciously, subconsciously start identifying the pattern. That is when you get a new question, you won't be surprised. Because let's say you solved a question on World Health Organization, and now there is a question on World Toilet Organization. Your brain won't be surprised because you have already solved a similar question. You cannot expect a direct same to same question, but you have practiced a similar question. This happened in my 2023 attempt. 2022, if you know, there were 4, only 1, only 2, only 3, only 4 questions. Now next year when I wrote 80, 100 full length mock test, every mock test was filled with 20, only 1, only 2, only 3 questions. Now when in the real examination I got 40, only 1, only 2, I was not surprised because I was already practiced it and I was already prepared. That is, in UPSC, mistakes are non-negotiable. Mistakes are compulsory. You will commit mistakes because if you don't commit mistakes, you won't learn. It's your choice whether to commit that mistake in the real exam or before the exam in practice. You don't know answer writing, then do you really think you can go to mains and write a perfect answer? Only if you commit mistakes in your practice while writing answers, you will be able to improve. You don't know, like let's say you are making a silly mistake with reading not and all. If you don't commit them before in the mock test, your brain won't remember it and you will go and commit it in the real exam. And understand that every year by 2-3 marks, nearly 20,000, 30,000 people miss the cutoff, prelims cutoff. By 2-3 marks, if the cutoff is 80, 90, they have scored 88. Means if they had gotten that one question right, they would have cleared the prelims. They would have saved 1 year, 2 years of their life. So your syllabus, your knowledge, PYQs can take you up to certain 70-80% of preparation. That 20% is where your own self-analysis lies. And those who understand this process, those who understood this process, will be able to clear prelims back to back. Do you know that like most of the people who clear prelims once, they will be clearing it again and again. Till your first prelims, you only will be struggling. But if you clear it, then you will be clearing it again and again because they have understood the process. That is, till May 10th, 2025 only, we wrote KS mains. Out of 10 people who gave interview with me, we wrote KS mains till May 10 and we had only 10 to 12 days for prelims. 9 out of 10 clear prelims within 10 days. Right? That shouldn't be possible, right? But how they did it? That is through predictive analysis. That is through probability mapping. They know which areas to read about. They know which areas to predict. They start predicting the questions. Now,
like, because if I have solved mock test this year, if you have given mock test this year, nuclear energy is in question, nuclear fusion, nuclear fission, uranium. If you have given mock test, you will realize that. Why? Because nuclear energy bill was passed in November 2025. That is predictive analysis. That is probability mapping. Let's say like you are going through thousands of current affairs material, thousands of themes will be there. Current affairs, if you sit down to cover now, minimum 1,000 themes are there, right? Do you think if you cover, it is possible to cover all of them? No. But let's say you are giving mock tests. You gave some 20 mock tests. In that, 10 questions from nuclear energy is getting repeated. So our brain will immediately assign probability. Oh, nuclear energy is a very important theme, very important concept. I should be focusing on this. Then, let's say 8 questions are from nanotechnology. So this is how AI also works. So generative AI, how does it work? It works on probability mapping only. So let's say you wrote I am, I is, I are. So your brain will assign probability. I am 80%. Based on the previous word, it will assign probability to the next word. I is only 5%. I are only 0.0001%. The same way our brain also works. We don't know that. Brain subconsciously starts predictive analysis. Then you would be able to predict 50, 100 very important current affairs themes. Then you would go back, do research, identify those 50, 100 current affairs aspects, do more research, understand. So that is in UPSC, nearly 40 to 50 questions will be based from PYQ themes. Then again you have to get only 20, 30 more correct out of hundreds, thousands of current affairs. So did you understand it so far? So, and another useful thing about practice is that when you give mock tests, you would be getting that practice for that remaining calm under pressure. Let's say like from May only start doing that. Now from April second week only start doing that. Give mock test every Sunday, offline mock test. Mock test so freely available in Chandra layout only. Give one mock test every Sunday. By the time you write your prelims, it's just another mock test. Because you have already taken that pressure already. So that is, pressure is a part of the game. Experience it beforehand so that you won't experience it in the real exam. So let's say you gave April 15, April 22, April 29, May 6, May 13, May 20, May 24. By the time it will be like 8th mock rather than the real prelims. Your brain will be like, it has already handled the competition, it has already handled the pressure. So that is, don't get your brain surprised on that day of the exam. Get it surprised before in the practice only. That is why if you practice so much, that is what happens. You will be able to do everything. You will be able to predict things. You will be able to assign probability. You will be able to stay calm under the pressure. You will be able to develop your own thinking ability. That is, for World Health Organization, I had solved a question like this. Maybe the same is applicable for toilet organizations also. That is called as logical reasoning. That is called as elimination techniques. That is called as common sense. People think that, I will watch a video on elimination techniques. I will get 30 questions right. That doesn't happen. If the elimination techniques, everyone goes through it, right? In UPSC preparation prelims. Then everyone should be getting those 30 right. That doesn't happen because you haven't practiced it. People do everything. I'm not saying that people are not dedicated, people are not putting hard work. Everything except practice. Now they will solve one sectional test, polity. I don't know polity at all. Go back to Lakshmikant. You're going back to stage 1 rather than to going back to stage 4. So did you understand why people fail in there? So this is the importance of practice. So for prelims, I will tell you another approach. See, like this is why changing our thought process becomes very important. Now 60-30-10. I guess most of you who attended my prelim session know about this. What is 60-30-10 strategy? Is that in the end, we have to get 100 marks. Take any year. take any category, whether you are from general, EWS, OBC, SC, ST, PWD, if you get 100 marks, don't you think you will qualify that year? You will even qualify for forest also. So your target is to get 100 marks. So get 60 correct, that is 120. Get 30 wrong, minus 2 by 3 into 20, that is 20, minus 20. So and 10, you have to leave unattempted. So here what is happening? You are getting 100 marks. That means understand that UPSC is begging you, literally begging you to leave 10 questions unattempted. There was some species question, you didn't know anything at all. Then you still attend. UPSC itself is begging you. 10 questions I have formed like no person should be able to attend this question through knowledge. No question should be able to, should be able to attend this through knowledge. That is why I am forming these 10 questions, whether you have that restraint as a civil servant, future. Are you able to leave these questions, 10 questions? UPSC is checking that. Then in these 30 questions, UPSC is giving you an opportunity to get them wrong. 30 questions you can get them wrong. And UPSC is not penalizing you at all. Now, all you have to get these 60 questions right. For these 60 questions, if you practice PYQs thoroughly, I can assure you 40 questions you will get them right. Because most of the people who attend UPSC will get these 30-40 questions right. That is why they will end up around that 80-90 benchmark. These 20 questions comes only through practice. Only through practice. They say we can apply elimination techniques and get them right. Elimination techniques also you can do only if you have practiced. Don't think you will go to exam hall and become Chanakya of elimination techniques. Only if you have practiced, you will be able to apply elimination techniques in these 20 questions also. So like now did you understand? Like now the focus is not on these 40 questions. So what happens is that this 10 question, that year UPSC asked about a species, about half that species. So you will start reading 200 species. Right? All of you have done that. I have also done that. You will start reading about 200 species. The UPSC has formed this question for you to leave. And some new current affairs will come. So you will get a very new current affairs. Then because it is asked in PYQ, I will solve that also. Now I will read everything about that particular current affairs because UPSC has asked. The focus is not these 40 questions. Your focus is these 60 questions. Strengthen it through PYQs, practice, whatever is possible, strengthen it. Do SWOT analysis. What is SWOT analysis? Strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. Strengthen your strengths. Convert your opportunities into strengths. For example, my strength is economics. I will make sure that I will get 12 out of 14 correct in economics. I will practice so much that economics I shouldn't be going wrong at all. My opportunity is mapping, because mapping they are asking 10-15 questions, but I don't have a current old, strong hold. I will practice so much that my opportunity will become my strength. In my 3 attempts also, I am a lazy person who don't want to study history. So I was like, I won't touch history at all. I will do some basic reading. Spectrum, I will do some basic reading, I will do some. But I won't put so much effort on history. Because if you have started studying history, you will know that history itself will take 1 year. Right? But history, they will ask 4-6 questions. That is my weakness. Fine. I won't worry much about it. I will allot my time and resources accordingly on my strengths and opportunities rather than on weakness. Weakness also you should be trying to strengthen. But if you have limited time, you should be playing according to your strengths. Right? So now strengths and opportunities. So you know, how do you know economics is strength? How do you know mapping is your opportunity? Practice. You have practiced thousands of MCQs on economics, you are getting them right. You have practiced 50 MCQ, 100 of MCQs on history, and still you are getting them wrong. That means there is some weakness in history. There is some strength in economics. Play according to your strengths. Play according to your opportunities. Then you would be able to get these 20 questions right. So beautifully I was able to apply them in all my 3 prelims. In my first prelims I got 95. In my second prelim, that is, if you get 95, that is around 58, 32, 10, something like that. In my second prelims I got 100 something. In my third prelims I got, this year prelims I got 110. That is, it became 63, 27, 10. Means you don't need to stick to that 90. It can be 95, it can be 85 according to the difficulty. You have to find your balance. Where is that balance? Whether you should be attending 85 or whether you should be attending 95. So this is another answer. That is, people ask me, how many questions should I attend in prelims? Why are you asking me that? Am I going to write in your place? Find out. Write test, write mock test. If you write 30-40 mock test, don't you understand how much you should be attending? You will understand, right? Find out. Let's say you are taking 2025 question paper, prelims. Try to attend on your own. Let's say you are taking any mock test. How you should be analyzing mock test, I will tell. For now I talked about, I attended around 60-80 full length mock tests, which are available for free. Go to Google, search UPSC Prelims All India Open Mock Test. You will get minimum 40 full length mock test. UPSC Prelims All India Open Mock Tests, full length. You will get next IAS Anubhav, you will get Shriram, Shankar, you will get then Vachiram and Ravi, you will get Grace, you will get any, like in Bangalore only you will get. Take 10 institutes, attend like 30-40 mock tests. There you will be able to identify, oh, like let's say now you are attending one mock test. Question number 1, in every mock test you should be doing this. Attend question number 1, you attended it through knowledge, let's say. Put K in front of it. You attended it through, in second question, logical elimination. Apply, write LE. You left the question because it's not good. You write R. R means redundant. Redundant means not useful. You attended question number 1 through Tukka. Tukka you know, right? Blind guess. Zero knowledge, blind guess. You got 4. And in question number 5, you had a doubt between 50-50. You had a doubt between 2 options. And you still attended it, put 50-50 in front of it. I did it in all 3 prelims. In prelims exam, I did it. In question number 6, put 25-75 if you have doubt between 3 questions. In question number 7, you left it unattempted, but you should have attended it because of your knowledge. Right? You had knowledge, you should have attended it because it's basically from your knowledge, but you still didn't do it. Right? UAK. Right, fine. So now, finally, calculate how many R questions are there. From 100 questions, let's say R is 30. Right. So how many questions left? 70. In 70, you attended knowledge through, let's say, 40 questions and you got them 30 right. Why didn't you get the 10 right, those 10 right? Because maybe lack of revision, lack of conceptual understanding, anything. Go back to that concept. Research, do. Then some attended logical elimination. See your accuracy rate. Logical elimination, there were 15 questions. I was able to get 10 correct. If you do that for 1 mark, you won't get your probability. Do that for 20 marks. Improve your sample space. For 20 questions, I was able to, I attended 200 logical elimination questions out of 30 tests. I was able to get 150 right. That means my accuracy is 66. Identify this. Logical elimination. Then, Tukka, your success rate will be less. Now you will understand, when you put Tukka and you get it wrong, you will understand. This question I shouldn't be attending at all. So you won't take unnecessary risks. Tukka, if you get, let's say you are getting 50-50 right, it's fine. If you are getting only 20-80, you are getting 20 right and 80 wrong, then you shouldn't be attending them at all. Then after that 50-50, what is your success rate in 50-50 questions? Try to think, then try to analyze, find your own. Let's say in 50-50 questions, you have a success rate of 70%. So next exam, you will improve it to 71%. Next, you will improve it to 72. That is the growth. That is the growth. So next, like now you do it for everything. Now you will do research on this also, unattempted but knowledge questions. You will do research on that also. So you will go through model solutions, and especially for these questions and the questions knowledge but you missed, you will do thorough research. You won't waste your time on redundant questions. Just look at the model solutions. If you understand, it's fine. If you don't understand also, it's fine. Now did you understand how to analyze PYQs as well as questions? Everyone will say, do a PYQ analysis. They don't say what is PYQ analysis. PYQ analysis is this only. One is every keyword analysis. Another one is SWOT analysis. What is your strength? Now see, in economics, I am getting out of 15 questions, I am getting 12 right. So over the period also, my economics, I have a strength in this area. History, I am not getting them as much as I should have. So then you would be able to assign your probability, your time accordingly, rather than blindly chasing everything. Do that for next 20, like for next 50 days are there, around 50 days are there for prelims, right? 20, 30 tests, do this. I can assure you, if you do this thoroughly, I can assure you, you will clear prelims. I can assure you. This video is going on YouTube. So if I have to say this, so many people will watch it. They will make a reel out of it and make fun out of me. So to say this confidently, I have to know that this works. This should work, right? Do this for next 20, 30 mock tests. But for that, you should have done PYQ analysis. Don't go to mocks directly. For that, you should have done PYQ analysis. That is non-negotiable. Now, did you understand the importance of practice? This is practice. And another thing, revision. Sir, how should I do revision for prelims? There is nothing called as revision. There is nothing called as revision. Revision is what? Making something part of your core memory. Like how many of you know that there are two types of revision? There is something called as passive revision. There is something called as active revision. What is active revision? Active revision is simple. Whenever you are challenging your brain, whenever you are forcing your brain to think, that is called as active revision. And whenever you are just reading whatever notes you have made, that is called as passive revision. I am not saying passive revision is not important. But what happens is in passive revision, all of you know, you start reading your notes, you think that, hey, I have already read this. You just glance through your notes and think that you have revised. But in active revision, now let's say you are revising polity. Sit, take 6 polity sectional mock tests from 6 good institutes. Attend 600 questions. Don't you think your revision is also happening there? Governor, you are getting a question. Then if you get it wrong, you are looking at the model solution. There is also same revision only happening, right? Right? Which do you think is better? Active revision. Challenge your brain. When you challenge your brain will remember it for a longer duration. This itself is active revision. This itself is revision. Means I am not saying that you shouldn't make notes, you shouldn't be doing passive revision also. Understand where active revision is necessary, understand where passive revision is necessary. For static subjects like history and polity and all, you need passive revision. Because through repeated reading, your brain will make it a part of core memory. But for economics, it doesn't matter if you read Vivek Singh, Ramesh Singh, Nitin Singh 10 times. Some new questions will come. That can be solved only through active revision. Active revision is where you are connecting things. That is why I say don't make notes as your Xerox. Notes should be in keywords. And when you revise your notes, you should be challenging your brain. I wrote about nanotechnology, nanoluminescence, some keyword I wrote. You shouldn't write nanoluminescence is the ability of nanoparticles to shed out light. You shouldn't be writing that. You should be writing only nanoluminescence. Then when you are revising, think what is nanoluminescence, right? Then you are challenging your brain to think actively. Then if you don't know, go back and do again conceptual reading. So did you understand it so far? So this is how I approached prelims. See, my approach is completely unorthodox. Completely different. Unorthodox means different. But go through Akanksh Dul's video on YouTube. He also said 40,000 MCQs. Go through Vipul Chowdhury, all India rank 115 something. He also said about 60-30-10. That means once you reach a certain stage, most of the toppers start thinking the same way. But first you have to put the effort to reach that stage. Most of the toppers start thinking the same way. Like if you go to my Telegram channel now only, I have forwarded a message from another topper where he has said that attend minimum 20 sectional tests in last 50 days. He hasn't said why, but I said why. But the reason is this. Reason is that you are getting practice, you are getting the ability to handle pressure, you are getting predictive analysis, probability mapping, everything. Now did you understand prelims? So now there is no magic solution in prelims. This is the approach. The approach is the hard work. Approach is the practice. And for CSAT also. CSAT, see, like fine. CSAT, I have scored 156. I will try to post some shortcuts, something like that can be used for some questions. But maths is one subject which you can never learn by watching hundreds of hours of videos, right? So what people do, they will buy some CSAT course. They will watch all the videos. They think they have mastered CSAT. They will attend one PYQ. They are getting 40, 50. Oh, like I attended that mock test, course. I'm not getting 80, I'm not getting 100, I'm not getting 150. That is because where is your practice? For CSAT also, if you haven't practiced it so far, I will tell you one approach. Take 2025 question number 1. Question number 1, take maths. Attend it for 5 minutes. You won't get it right. This is after you have taken some foundational coaching, foundational understanding. That means whatever I am saying now, this is in the stage 4. That means you have completed stage 1 and 2. So now question number 1, attend for 5 minutes. It's fine, take 5 minutes. Try whatever way you know, whatever thinking you can do to attend that. If you don't get it right, fine. Now look at the model solution. Now look at the solution. Do it for question number 2. Maybe you are able to solve question number 2. Then mark it. Then question number 1 also you saw the model solution, you were like, oh, I can solve it. Right. Then you attended question number 3 from probability. You are not understanding Talabuda, like you are not understanding anything. Leave it. After watching model solution, you are not understanding anything, leave it. Question number 4, do it again. Sit with yourself for 3-4 minutes. Solve. Force your brain to solve that question. You don't know the concepts, I also know that. But force your brain to identify some way to solve that. It doesn't have to be formulas. Because in most of the questions I have solved in UPSC, CSAT, I haven't applied formulas at all. Some or the other way, like there will be numerical questions, there will be number system based questions. They don't need formulas only. It just requires your thinking, that's it. Do it for like question number, let's say you completed 2025. Do it for 24, 23, 22, 21, 28. Do it till 2013. Now, when you did this analysis, now come to every subtopic, number systems. Oh, I am able to grasp it. I am able to solve the question. So now, in the real exam also, attend the number system questions better first. Then you don't know, you are not able to understand probability at all. Fine. Now, what mistake? Most of you know about this mistake. What mistakes most people do is that attend question number 1, 2, 3. They will attend it for 5 minutes. They don't get it correct in CSAT exam. I am telling. They will attend it for 5 minutes. They will get it correct. Then they will attend third one. They will attend fourth one. They won't even go to question number 70 IT. And even if they go, they will go just for half minute, 1 minute. They don't dedicate their energy there. But think otherwise. Play according to your strengths, weaknesses. So by PYQ analysis, not anything else, by just PYQ analysis, you understood that number system is your strength area. You You understood that distance, time, questions are your strength area. Then question number 1, I have solved these questions beforehand and I was able to get answer, solve them. Question number 2, this is difficult. Question number 3, this is difficult. Question number 4, I can solve it. Prioritize. As I told you, the most important aspect of a civil servant is prioritization. You will have hundreds of things at your hand and you have to prioritize 4, 5. How would you do it? How would you learn it? Through this only. Through exam only, UPSC is trying to teach you that. Now, let's say in your first round, you was able to attend 15 questions. Now, second round, go to your opportunities. First round, you did with your strengths. Second round, go to opportunities. Third round, if there is time, you go to your threats and weaknesses. Now, what is happening here is that CSAT has 80 questions and you have to, maths will be 53 and comprehension will be 27. Out of this 27, most of the people will get 18 correct. Most will get 18 correct. That is the minimum they will get correct. In 53, see 35 into 2.58, 2.5. So how much is this? 87.5. And you attended 50, you got 15 wrong into 0.833 something. This is will be around 12. So what? How do it will be come down to 75? 75 is a very good score, right? 10 around 8 to 10 marks above the cutoff. Here, that means out of the 53 questions you have to get 17 correct. Do you think all 53 will be very difficult? 25 will be easy, 25 will be medium. Sorry, 15 will be medium. Some 15 will be hard, but they will be distributed everywhere. What happens? You will be stuck so much in your hard questions. You are not dedicating your time and energy into easy questions and medium questions. And how would you know the question is easy? Only if you have practiced it. Just because your sir is saying there is a 9, there is one question, this is a very easy question, you should attend it. What you would do? You will go to the exam. Sir told that this is a very easy concept, I will attend it. Let's think that year they give it that as a very tough question from that concept. Because you are going by your sir's thought process rather than your thought process, you are getting doomed. Did you understand? To crack CSAT, you need your own thinking. And it is not some rocket science. In the end, don't you think there will be 20 easy questions? It is your ability to pick those 20 questions is what matters in CSAT. Everyone would be able to solve 15-20 questions from maths and reasoning. Even if you go now, see 2025 paper, just go through it. There will be some 10th standard level questions, very basic questions. And if you have solved PYQs, there will be minimum 50-20 questions. I will give you an example. See, like now when I am talking, I am trying to back everything up with an example. See, this is the quality that I have developed unconsciously, unknowingly, because UPSC has taught me to develop it accordingly. That means whatever I am saying, I am trying to back it up with some argument, with some empirical data, with some mathematical reasoning, right? That is also how we should think. I am not saying I am perfect. What I am saying is that we should develop that thinking. As we go on, we will experience much and much and we will even refine our thought process. That's it. It's just that you have to develop that thinking. Now, I will give an example itself. See this question. This question has been asked in 2025-15 and this question was also asked in 2023, which was the most difficult CSAT year. So they asked in 15, 19 and 2023 also. So see here in this question, 1001, 7, 11, 13 question. 2015 they asked about, see I will tell you, I will just explain it. So any number, if it is in the XYZ format, it can be written as XYZ into 1001 is equal to XYZ. That means if the number is 896, it can be written as 896 into 1001, which is 896. Right. Now, so you solved a similar question on this. So are you able to see like now? Just a minute. Yeah. So fine. Like if this format, this is ABC format, right? So this is in 1001. DED is 1001, right? So because ABC into DED is ABC. So DED is 1001. So D is 1 and E is 0. So you practice this. And 2023, the toughest is at here. 2023, toughest is at here. See the question. XYZ. Same question. Find the choices of XYZ. That is 1001 can be divided into 7 into 11 into 13. That also you learnt in the 2015 question only. 1001 is equal to 7 into 11 into 13. All three are primes. So that is some unique thing about 1001. So 1 equals 7 into 11 into 13. The same question. Don't you think as soon as you see it, you will be able to solve it? Do you need any formula? You need basic understanding and practice. Then again the same year, you don't need to go to other years. Other years are easy. This year 2023 was the where MBA people, IIM people didn't clear CSAT. See the question. You feel that it is not the similar question. 9 is written 99 times. So 9 is written 99 times. So it is ending with 99 times. But if it is in 999 format, this is in the format that we have discussed, ABC format. So this is 999 into 1001, right? So that is, this is sticking to 1001 rule. Now let's say there are 2 more 99s. That means first 6 are sticking to the rule and whatever is left, we have to find a remainder for that. So 99, so 9 is written 99 times. That means what is the closest number that can divide 99 in the 6 number format? This is 6 number format, right? XYZ is in 6 number format. The closest number is, let's divide by 6. So that means when you divide it by 6, 16 6 are 96. So that means if you have written 9 96 times, that would have stick to the 1001 rule. But it is written for 99 times. That means again another 999 is coming. So all the previous followed the rule, the 1001 rule. Only 999 is remaining. So for that 999 you will find the remainder. So 999 divided by 13. Divide it, you will get the solution. Do you understand it? If you don't understand it, go and do your research. That's it. I am not here to spoon feed. Same solution. I didn't become an expert in maths just because some God-given talent. I became an expert in maths only because of practice. Right. The same way, comprehension also, you will be able to identify some pattern, some keywords. They are playing with keywords. You will watch some comprehension video, then try to solve 25 out of 27 in the exam. What happened? You have to apply it in your paper, in your PYQs. UPSC is giving 13 years of papers to you. What are you doing with it? You are looking at the question, solution. Oh, mera PYQ analysis ho gaya. Now I am set for UPSC. That doesn't happen. Same question, right? Like, are you able to understand what I said? The same answer, model solution I have put in. Now, did you understand the approach for CSAT? Now, like, I will be explaining this concept. Like, in future also, I will be like giving the shortcuts, what can be like our thought process, how to approach these kinds of questions. Based on the PYQs only, I will be giving the questions. But there also, if you are just looking at my solution and if you are doing it, you won't succeed. You have to put your own effort. Even if you don't have guidance also, you can start doing this, right? right? You don't need any guidance, you don't need any mentorship. On YouTube, everything is available for free. You didn't understand this question, let's say, go to YouTube, like there is already some solution video explaining this concept. Put your effort to understand that. Why are you relying on some course? I'm not saying course are not important. They are for your foundation. After that, what you are doing? Practice, are you practicing? Are you giving mock tests? That becomes important. So this is for prelims. I guess prelims I have covered extensively. I can assure you, if you follow this aspect, this strategy, you will never fail in prelims. But to do this, it also requires 12 hours of effort for 6 months. Because solving 15,000 MCQs is not a simple game. But if you solve them in the right manner, success is assured. Just a minute. See here, this is another thing that I wanted to explain, empirical explanation. So, polity and governance, let's say there are 11 questions. 11 questions are there. So, 11 questions are there in polity and governance. So, in history, medieval history, one question is there. One question is there. So, what happens is that if you are dedicating 10 hours, people dedicate, because syllabus is almost same, polity and medieval history. Syllabus is same. They will put 5 hours for polity and 5 hours for medieval history. If you compile all this one, ancient, medieval, modern, 15 questions, and economics is 15 questions. But the syllabus of ancient plus medieval plus modern is 3 times the syllabus of economics. But you will dedicate equal number of hours. That is not playing according to the demand. That is not playing according to your strengths. 15 hours, give 15 hours. One question, give 1 hour. That means if you are putting 16 hours, you shouldn't be giving 8 hours here, 8 hours here. You should be giving 15 hours here and 1 hour here. Do you understand? This is how we should approach. That is why first to do PYQ analysis. That is what I am telling. As soon as you complete your foundational doing, what you should be doing is PYQ analysis. If you don't do PYQ analysis, you have never understood the demand of the exam. And if you have not understood the demand of the exam, you will be stuck in the loop forever. This is the true demand of this exam. Art and culture. See, like I will tell you another. Current affairs. 24 questions are there. Do you know what these stars mean? Star mean there are 5 to 10 questions. UPSC is begging you to leave. That is why they are called as miscellaneous. Right? Now, we will run behind this 24 questions so much that we miss polity and governance, we miss economics, we miss mapping and all, geography 13, 14 questions, environment. See, like here itself, 26 questions, 40 questions, 51 questions, 65 questions, there itself in the core subject. Leaving history, history I have left completely. Leaving history, 65 questions are there itself. Current affairs also, what is current affairs? Somehow they are integrated to the core subjects, right? Somehow or the other way they are integrated to core subjects. And if you have covered current affairs decently, you will be able to 5 correct. Out of 24, won't you be able to get 5, 10 correct? Right? Play according to the demand of the exam. Play according to the strategization. This is called as strategization. This is called as analysis. This is what do you mean by PYQ analysis. This is pattern recognition. I told about pattern recognition. This is a pattern. Right? This is predictive analysis, like this. Play according to your own strengths, your own opportunities. Let's say your opportunity lies in science and tech. So, understand how to approach science and tech questions. Now, let's move to mains. Yeah. So, do you need a break? Let's meet back at 7:15. Now, most of the concepts I have already explained. Don't think that mains is something new. Mains also I will tell the same thing only in a new manner. I will use some new words, but the same thing. Whatever I have told so far, practice, PYQ analysis, those things I only will tell. I will also tell about pattern identification. pattern identification through topper copies. I will tell all those aspects. Mains, now because I have explained prelims beautifully, mains it will take some 15-20 minutes. That's what. So let's meet back at 7:15. Thank you. Most of you are traumatized. See, usually when someone speaks like this, they call them as arrogant, right? But if someone like me doesn't give you the reality check, then we are never going to upgrade our game. Then we are not. See, like that's what I think. Most of the people will say that do PYQ analysis, do read that book, read this book. They don't tell how, they tell what to do. They don't tell how to do. That is where the issue lies with UPSC aspirants. To understand the process itself, they will take 3-4 years. After that, they will start giving their serious attempts. That shouldn't happen. See, maybe because of one of my suggestions, if you will inculcate, you may get those 2 extra marks and you may clear prelims. Everyone will put that hard work for that 80 marks. But for that additional 10 marks, because if the cutoff is 90, if you see most of the people will fall around those who are serious will fall around 75 to 90 only. Right? Ask anyone who have given prelims seriously. If they haven't cleared it, their score will be around 82, 85, 90 only. But to get that additional 50-20 extra marks, what should be done? That is this approach, universal approach. Because this is purely empirical. See, I told one argument in the beginning. If you make your arguments in such a way that if you are backing it with data, if you are backing with statistics and all, nobody can refute you, nobody can argue with you. Now also nobody can come to me and say that your approach is wrong. Because this is not my approach, this is an empirical mathematical approach. This is not my approach, this is mathematical approach. Maths can be never wrong. I can be wrong, maths can never be wrong. I am just expressing it. I am just a medium of expression. But the maths is here. That's what. So I'm audible? Yeah. Hello? ಎಲ್ಲೋದ್ರು ಅವ್ರು? If you haven't joined my Telegram group yet, please do join. And if you think someone else also can get benefited from it, idu akodi. Please share it with others as well. And come to the first page. ಬಿಡಿ ಬಿಡಿ ಹಂಗೆ ಬನ್ನಿ ಹಂಗೆ. And also I have posted important current affairs themes in the group. Please check them out as well. Because just like nuclear energy bill, there were some current affairs themes which were in news. That is also on probability and predictive analysis only. So now coming to mains. Bro. ಇದು ಅದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಎರಡು ಕಡೆ ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಅದು ವಾಪಸ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪೇಜಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪೇಜಿಗೆ ಹಾಕೊಡಿ. ಇದು ರೈಟ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್. So we talked about 60-30-10 approach in prelims. The same approach here also, 12-4-4 approach. That means, what is 12-4-4 approach? There are 20 questions in mains. That means, out of those 20, 12 will be most likely 100% based on PYQs. That means you have to write exceptionally good answer in these 12 questions. Because they are from PYQs, you don't have any excuse not to write exceptionally good answers. You have to do every validation possible. You have to write good keywords. You have to write good content, very good knowledge. Let's say governor. Governor 100%. There is like it gets repeated every year. Or speaker, governor or speaker, any institutions, or CAG, like that. There will be one question on e-governance every year, 100%. These questions, you have to write exceptionally well answers, the level of answers that only top 50, top 100 candidates in India write. You have to do so much value addition, you have to write very beautifully answers there, because they are the questions from PYQs. So did you understand it? So this is very good answers, where you are trying to maximize your marks. And here are 4 are good answers. This means like they can be from PYQs, but they can also be from very well known topic, current affairs. For example, let's say this year PLI scheme was reformed 2025 in 2025-24. So there was a direct question on PLI in GS3. So you know some questions, they have a high probability of being repeated because they were in news so much. These questions you should be able to write good answers. And there will be 4 bouncers. There will be 4 bouncers. Like every year, like there was some geography question which nobody knew about. Like that, there will be some 4 bouncers which only optional people will be knowing about. It's fine. Like you can write average, below average answers as well. But what mistake do we do? Because UPSC is asking 4 bouncers, we run behind 1000-page materials. Now I have to cover everything. UPSC is asking from there, UPSC is asking from there, here. UPSC is asking from sir's material. UPSC is asking from this coaching's material. Rather than strengthening and maximizing our marks in these 16 questions, which we should be able to write one of the best answers, we run behind these 4 questions. So there what happens is that we are diluting our effort on these 16 questions as well. Don't you think rather than spending so much energy on these questions, if you spend time on value addition, good introduction, good conclusions in these questions, you will be able to write very good answers here. So rather than getting 4.5 marks, you are getting 4 marks, you are getting 4.5 marks in this question, let's say. So that means it's those half marks which counts. So why does half marks counts in mains? The reason is that in one question, if you are getting 4 marks and your competitor is getting 4.5, if you take it for 20 questions, there itself is the gap of 10 marks. And if you take it across all the papers, it will be around 70 marks. It won't be 70, like 30, 40, let's say. And now open your UPSC CSE results page. See the competition, the fight is going on for 1 marks between 20-30 ranks. My score is 967 and I am missing IAS by 1 marks this year. So my competitor who got the same marks as me is getting IAS, I am not getting IAS. And if I had gotten 1 marks, maybe I would have gotten IAS. The exam is very brutal. The fight is happening for that half marks extra. So like what happens is that many students come to me and they say, sir, I am very well prepared for mains. Prelims is only my struggle. Please guide me. Prelims you just have to qualify. If the cutoff is 90, even if you score 150, it doesn't matter. Mains, if you score 4 and your competitor scores 4.5, you are doomed. That's what. That's the level of competition in mains. So that is why you have to understand that you have to strengthen these 16 questions so much because they are based on current affairs and PYQs which we can predict, which you can do probability analysis, which we know very well about. In those questions, if you are getting less marks, you will be losing out on the competition. Because in the end, if you have to be IAS in any category, you need 800 marks. Usually, you need 800 marks. Just break it down. Just break it down. Do maths, basic maths. So that is if you get essay 110, if you get 90-95 in GS1, 90 to 95. I will give empirical data only here. So this year, if you need IAS, you need to be in top 300 minimum. If you have category also, you need to be in top 300. So for top 300 essay, average was 105 to 110. GS1 average was 100 to 105. GS2 average was 105 to 110. GS3 average was 85 to 90, 88. GS4 was 110 to 115. And optional was 260 to 270. This was the marks. You need to score all these marks to be in 200. You need to fall in this category to be in top 200, top 300. You need to score minimum 107. You need to score 102. You need to score 110. Like that in papers to be in top 300. Otherwise, you would be giving another attempt. And you will realize that getting that scoring 90 is easy, scoring 91 is difficult, scoring 95 is very difficult. If you score 100 in any GS paper, that is considered as exceptional in any paper, and you have to score 110 here. See, ethics competition has become so much that because people are doing so much value addition, because for ethics there is some good guidance as far as I know. The people are scoring in this range, and let's say you are scoring 105, which is a good score only, but you are already out of the competition because your competitors are scoring 112, your competitors are scoring 115. So understand this, understand that competition. That is why if you even like, maybe if you had studied for one more hour, maybe you could have gotten that 1 marks extra, and that could have made all the difference. Because this year one of my friends from Kerala, he has the same marks as that of cutoff. Let's say for his category cutoff is 930. He scored 930 only. But there was someone else who already scored 930 and he was in the list. He scored the same cutoff and he was not in the list. He will be in the reserve list, but he was not in the list. See what different 1 marks makes. That is why the competition is very brutal. You are writing mains with someone who has already written 3-4 mains, minimum 2-3 mains. If I am given interview, means that I have written 2-3 mains for sure, like that. And another thing you have to understand is the competition from the Delhi University students. Because Delhi University students, for them, their optional is their graduation subject. They take PSIR and they graduate, they are write optional from PSIR. We are from medical science, BA, that background, BSc, BCom background, and we choose optional. My graduation is in engineering, but I chose bad optional. I have to start from scratch for that optional. But they are playing with their strength. Their strength itself is their optional. And let's say they got 280 here. That means to beat them, you have to score 5 marks extra in year. Right? So the competition is very brutal. Especially in mains. People think prelims is the toughest. Mains you are competing with, mains is the real competition because mains is comparative competition. What is comparative competition? You are competing not to clear a cutoff, but you are competing with your real competition for the half marks. So if the evaluator is evaluating your answer, if he gives 105 to your competitor, why should he be giving 1 marks extra for you? If you are writing on the same level, you have to stand out, right? Mains is all about standing out. Very good examples, very unique examples, very good keywords, diagrams, good introductions, good conclusions. Mains is all about standing out. And to do that, it requires more efforts than you did in prelims. Don't ever mistake that. Don't ever mistake that I will first clear prelims. मेरा prelims होने के बाद मैं mains के बारे में देख लूंगा. Doesn't happen. You have to be mains ready before prelims. That is why I mentioned that. That is why, did you understand the phase 3? What was the phase 3? You are giving 6 months for mains preparation before you are giving 6 months for prelims preparation. The reason is this. So now, how to approach? Now one thing is PYQs. You understood that nearly 16 questions will be somewhere around the PYQs only. So as I told, take every question, this keyword in PYQs, Google it from 2-3 different websites, then use ChatGPT, ask for value additions from ChatGPT. See, ChatGPT, I will tell about use of ChatGPT and all in further aspect. So now use ChatGPT, do as much as value addition possible for these 16 questions. Now you are done with PYQs. I have already explained this importance in prelims aspect as well. Now this is where you do the value addition. That is where you find the direction, where you find the structuring, then improving your presentation, structuring, value addition, diagrams, everything. This is how you do it. So this ChatGPT I will tell you, and topper copies. See, just a minute. There are 3 ways to gain wisdom. One is through reflection. So I talked about reflection already, that is thinking on your own. So this is self-reflection. So you will think, this is the connections, interconnections and all, which is the noblest because you are spending time with yourself. You are putting the effort to understand on your own, which people rarely do. The second is imitation. Imitation is what? Inspiration. Inspiration. That means you are getting inspired from someone else. Just like Swami Vivekananda got inspired, just like Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam got inspired from someone else, you are also getting inspired from whom? From topper copies. Means, let's say, if you go through my topper copies, let's say you go through my ethics copies, ethics notes, ethics copies. In my 2 pages, there lies the experience of 3-4 years. That means you don't have to go through all the struggles, all the effort that I have did. All you have to do is the minimum thing of analyzing what I have written, what keywords have I used, what examples have I used, and picking from there and inculcating in your answers. So did you understand? So that is why I call topper copies as the Brahmastra. In my case, I analyzed topper copies for 6 months. 6 months. But what happens is that as you spend time with your topper copies again, you will also start thinking, you will also start identifying the patterns. What UPSC is rewarding. For example, if you go through, as I told, PP format, PEP, point example format, that I identified through topper copy analysis only. Then, let's say you got a very good Karma Falatyaga, that I got through topper copies only. So what happens is that in ethics, everyone will write Armstrong Pame, everyone will write 2-3 like other examples. Now, a certain topper has written some other officer. You will pick it, you will do some research about that person, you will integrate in your answers. Means, are you going through the struggle that the topper faced? No. But you are learning from it. So this is called as Jugad. Jugad is what? Smart work. This is the smart work. But for topper copy analysis also, you need a lot of time. A lot of time. That comes only if you put very good amount of effort. So, and the third one is experience. That is doing everything on our own, and that would be the bitterest because you have to face it. You have to go through the pain of learning. So that is why find a balance between all of those 3. You need experience also, you need inspiration also, and you need self-introspection also. The more you self-introspect, the less you will be doing is experience. So this is what. Now, peer discussions. Peer discussion, mains is all about, as I told you, standing out. Mains is all about perspectives, dimensions. So what happens is that, let's say I am discussing with you. You may have a very new dimension about a essay topic or ethics topic than me, or like you have read current affairs for, like, let's say last 6 months, I have read current affairs for this 6 months. When we exchange, our perspectives also improve. So that is what? Inspiration. So you are learning from each other. In UPSC, especially essay paper, optional and ethics, peer discussions help a lot because you are developing your thinking thought process. The same in interview also. Interview, one of the major reasons for any success is peer discussions. Because let's say, like I am talking to a girl. If we are talking about women empowerment, I will have, as a man, I will have some bookish perspectives. But as a girl, she will have perspectives from her experience. So I will be learning something from her experiences. So that is, I will be getting new perspectives, new stories, new anecdotes, new examples from peer discussions. Where there we are sharing the burden, sharing the responsibilities. That will surely help. So peer discussions, find the right peer group also. Means your peer group should be the people who are pushing you to do better. Because I have seen in Chandra layout only, what happens is 9 o'clock you will come to the library, 11 o'clock, macha baga, let's go for a tea. 1 hour you will go discuss some politics, 12 you will come back, again 1 p.m. you will go back to lunch, again you will come back, around 4 p.m. macha, let's have another tea. Your peer group should be the one who is pushing you. That means if you are person sitting next to you, if he is putting 12 to 15 hours every day, don't you be feeling guilty, oh, I am not putting this much effort. You will push yourself, right? Your peer group should be the one who is giving you positive energy rather than giving negative energy. That is why peer group matters a lot. Because peer group is also one of the reasons for success, is also one of the reasons for failure in UPSC. Everywhere also, but in UPSC specifically. Because I will give you a very good example only. Take Karnataka, all three mains toppers. Karnataka top 3, rank 1, 2, 3 in mains. Those who have scored 800 plus. Kiran Kamatana, Sandeep Badadanna, Basavaraj Javali, Basavaraj Patil. All 4 of them went to Delhi soon after prelims. They stayed together in Delhi for 3 months. Every day they used to study for 15-16 hours. They used to discuss for 3 hours. And all those 3, out of 5 people, 4 qualified the exam, 3 become main toppers. 2 become IAS. That is the power of peer group. They used to discuss every day for 2-3 hours. That is the power of peer group. And that I have seen in Kerala also. In Kerala also, peer group effect is very strong. That is why Karnataka with 7 crore population is producing 22 results. Kerala with 3.5 crore population is producing 49 results. 49. The difference is this. Peer group matters a lot. Have a right peer group around you. So this is peer discussion. So first one is topper copies. I have told like why they are the Brahmastra. Then peer discussions. ChatGPT for value addition, AI analysis and all. I will tell you one strategy that I have used here, especially for optional. What I used to do, optional 10 marker, you have to write 150 words. So I used to go to ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT for 3,000, 5,000 word analysis. 3,000 word analysis. So when you ask for a 3,000 word analysis, don't you think ChatGPT will be giving all the history of that particular, for that optional, the history of that concept or the advantages, disadvantages, way forward, conclusion, everything ChatGPT will be covering. Then I will go back, ask which thinkers can I integrate. I used to discuss with ChatGPT only, like a friend. Which thinkers can I integrate? Which examples from 2000, which contemporary examples from 2024 to 26 can I write? Can I bring in these points? I used to ask ChatGPT. And in ChatGPT, there is a very beautiful concept called as web search. I guess you know, like those who have used the ChatGPT know there is a web search. So rather than going through everything, trying to do value addition, if you ask ChatGPT through web search only, it will pick points from current affairs. It will pick from newspapers like Indian Express. It will pick from everywhere. It will give you examples. This is what is called as Jugaad. What is Jugaad? Jugaad is the smart work in the limited time. So Jugaad is what? Maximum output in minimum input. This is the smart work. Hard work when complemented by smart work will lead to success. The same way, take a CSAT question, practice it, look for model solution. Then if you don't get like understanding, ask ChatGPT, explain this concept simply, or ask ChatGPT for shortcuts. Which shortcut can I apply? Just ask. If you get a good shortcut, maybe one question can get you through, right? So that is the importance of ChatGPT also, and AI for analysis. Then model solutions test series, for value addition, for practice. Practice I have already emphasized enough in the prelims aspect. So answer writing practice, they are non-negotiable. So, and another thing I have to address is the difference between writing and answer writing. You should be writing no matter whether you are writing answers or not. That means, let's say you completed governor today. Sit for 5 minutes, whatever you have learned, try to write it in 1 page. What happens is that, oh, I am a beginner, I don't know anything. So from the day 1 itself, you want topper level answers. Then we write one answer, we get demotivated, we won't write any answers at all. That is why don't do that. When you are in the stage 1 and 2, when I explained, stage 1 and 2, do writing. Optional, you read one concept, new concept. Sit down, write for 5 minutes. Write whatever you learned from that concept. Right? You do it every concept every day. Then by the time you completed the syllabus, by the time you come to PYQ analysis, you have written, you are writing practice. Now you need to write answers, that's it. For answer writing and all, like structure, introduction, conclusion, happens from here. Guidance and mentorship. You will then talk to your mentors, you will then talk to your teachers, your peers, everyone. your structure will get refined. Introduction, oh, I have to write this. Examples, I have to write this. Start writing from day one. You don't need to write answers from day one. Start writing from day one. Because when you are right, that is where active revision is happening. Because you are challenging your brain to think again. Whatever you have learnt, whatever you have understood, you are challenging your brain to think again. That is active revision. This is how we should be approaching. So, and brainstorming. Brainstorming also helps a lot. Brainstorming is what? We can't write answers to every question, right? There what we do is that, set a timer, 3 minutes. So, sit for 3 minutes about that question. Think whatever points, whatever examples, thinkers you can think for that point. You have spent 3 minutes. So, you can complete one paper in like that in 1 hour. 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Then after that, look at the model solutions, look for ChatGPT. This should be done in the beginning also. Beginning, when you are starting also, you should do a lot of brainstorming because you can't write answer for every question. And during the prelims mains also gap, you should be writing answers, but you can't be writing answers to every test series, every PYQ, right? There you should be brainstorming also. Peer discussions and brainstorming are same. Peer discussions, you do it with others. Brainstorming, you do it with yourself. Brainstorming helps for value addition, a lot for value addition. That is, you are realizing what you know, what you don't know when you brainstorm. But the better approach is peer discussions. But your peers also have to be in the same standard. That's what. Peer discussion, the issue is that if you are someone with 2-3 interview experience and your friend is giving first mains, the quality won't be the same. That will be the issue. And especially if you are a beginner, peer discussions, the quality won't be that high. Right? So that is what. But when you do brainstorming, you are forcing your brain to think of all the points that you have learned so far. So this is my approach for mains. So Benjo P. Jose, like all India rank 59. Benjo P. Jose wrote 0 answers for optional for GS. Benjo P. Jose. I am not saying you should follow this approach, but what I am saying is that you should learn how he did it. He got all India rank 59 without writing a single answer. Brainstorm a lot. Brainstorm a lot. So you used to brainstorm for like let's say GS1. There are 20 questions. You used to brainstorm for 400 questions. Rather than writing answer for 200 questions, you used to brainstorm for 400 questions. Don't you think he will be getting somewhere, you will be getting those 15-20 correct? I am not saying follow his approach. Find a balance between all of them. Everything is important. And now I will distribute time. You will realize that it requires 12 to 15 hours. Listen to any topper speech. Kiran Anna, he gave 16 hours. They slept only for 4 hours during prelims mains gap. Almost those who are very dedicated for mains, they give 15 hours for mains. Because mains is a game of margins, game of 1 marks. So here, ChatGPT only my time used to be around 5-6 hours every day. ChatGPT I used to spend 5-6 hours every day. Then topper copies, it will take, as I told, 6 months it took for me. Then like somewhere around like 2-3 hours every day. Peer discussions 2-3 hours every day. PYQs you should be doing in the phase 3 only, yeah. So and model solutions, if you are writing tests, 3 hours for test, 3 hours for analysis. Then brainstorming, okay, like let's, somewhere you will find a balance. Then answer writing, here they both are same. Guidance, it will take 1 or 2 hours every day. Then see the time, calculate the total time. That itself will around 12-15 hours. That means, I don't know, like people can say 5-6 hours of dedicated hours, our effort is necessary, you will do it. I don't agree. I don't agree because the competition has become brutal. Maybe that was the case 5 years ago. Now the competition has become, let's say, like, there was a very beautiful quote from Steve Jobs. AI will not replace humans. The people who use AI will replace the people who don't use AI. Did you understand? The people who adapt will replace the people who don't adapt. So look at the copies from 2020. Now look at the 2025 copies. If you write 2020 rank 1 level of answers in 2025, you won't even get average marks these days. Because the competition has moved so fast. The only way to beat it is through hard work. That's what I'm saying. So you can do value addition through all of these aspects. From model solutions, you will get some 2-3 good points, 2-3 keywords. From ChatGPT, you will get some thinkers. That way your notes will keep on improving. Now mains also, what we will do, you will take digital notes. Let's say I made my notes on Google Docs. Use Google Docs for 1 day. Minimum. Like Google Docs is the most simplest app. 1 hour you will learn how to use Google Docs. Then in Google Docs, under every theme, governor is one PYQ theme, speaker is one PYQ theme, CHE. Under every theme, start value addition. That is governor from one one model solution, you learn something. Add it. After 2 months, you from a topper copy, you will got some value addition for governor. Add it there itself. Digital notes are easy to update. Then convert it to offline notes on a weekend or any day to the 1-pager notes the toppers talk about. Convert it to that during the prelims mains gap. So what happens is that when you make digital notes, they are easy to maintain, they are easy to update, and they take up less time if you have put in the time to understand. So that is what. And from peer discussions, you will get point like that. This is what should be the approach for mains. So yeah. So 62 principle for prelims, I am taking minimum 10 hours. If you are preparing for, like this is one of the most basic questions that I always ask to my students. If you are preparing full time, if you don't have anything other than to prepare for UPSC, why are you giving less than 12 hours? Where is your time going? What is your excuse for not giving 10 to 12 hours? Tell me that. People say that I am giving sir 6 hours. Why? Where is your 16 hours going? Because your only job is to prepare for UPSC. Are you taking any job, maintaining family and all? Then you have to balance, find 4-5 hours for UPSC. Not like that. Most of you are preparing for UPSC for full time. What is stopping you from giving 12 hours? What is? Think that. So like if you think that, like then this 62 is applicable. Whatever I have said so far is only applicable for those who give 10 to 12 hours. Otherwise, whatever you have listened to so far will fade away in 2-3 days. That's it. That is, this 6-2 approach is what, 10 hours total. So 6 hours for your conceptual reading or anything practice. You are giving PYQ analysis, all those. So this 2 hours is for CSAT. These 2 hours is for revision. So this 6 hours is for any like content, like let's say you are reading a book or you are reading a current affairs material, anything. For prelims, what I am saying, 6 hours is for the 2 pillars, first 2 pillars, that is syllabus, the syllabus coverage and the PYQs. This 6 hours is for PYQs and syllabus. This 2 hours is for CSAT and these 2 hours is for revision. The same in the mains goes, what it goes is that usually it goes around 5, 4, 3, something like that. If you are giving 12 hours, that is 5 hours for GS plus essay, 4 hours for optionals and 3 hours for practice, revision, anything like that. This is if you are doing value addition and all, topper copy analysis, everything. That is, in the end, like it varies according to the person. It's not like it's a rigid formula, but the foundational aspect, the baseline is that you should be giving 12 hours. That is what I am trying to say here. So, this is non-negotiables for those who are giving prelims. One is that you already know there is no source hopping. Source hopping means jumping from one source to another. That is, you shouldn't be doing that. You should be emphasizing more on PYQs and practice. Secondly, so no zero MCQ days. There shouldn't be any day where you are practicing less than 100 MCQs. 100 MCQs to possible. If you are giving 12 hours, don't you think 100 MCQ practice is not possible? It's easily possible. Then no marks without analysis. I told the importance of analysis here. Then current affairs, don't overload. Though you don't need to run behind thousands of current affairs. Then don't neglect CSAT at all. Just because it's your weak area, that doesn't have to be your threat. Weakness is different, threat is different. Weakness you are letting, it's your choice to make it a threat if you don't practice. Weakness can also become opportunity, weakness can also become strength. It is your choice whether to make it a threat or a opportunity. And one mock, like, this is one most famous question. Sir, I am scoring only 50, 60. I am very underconfident. See, there is a concept called as growth mindset. Google it, what is growth mindset? Growth mindset by Carol Dweck. We use it in essays as well. What is growth mindset? Looking there, let's say you face a challenge. Looking at that challenge as an opportunity or as a crisis. That is called as a growth mindset. That is if you look at it as an opportunity. That means, let's say for a 200 mark question, 200 mark test, you are scoring 50, 60. And in another, you are scoring 150. Means if you are writing this test, you have only 50 marks of improvement. And if you are writing this test, you have 150 marks of improvement. So let's say you are giving 3 hours every day for tests. Which is more fruitful? The mark where you are giving 50, 60. Because you are improving by, like you are learning something worth 150 marks. Now you can take this 50, 60 as a demotivating factor, or you can take this 50, 60 marks as an opportunity. Because in this 150 marks, you are getting what you already know. In this 50, 60 marks, you are getting to learn something new for 150 marks. That means for the same time, you are learning 3 times more than the mark where you are scoring very well. And in my mocks also, I will score my vision test 1 in 2023, vision Abhyas test 1. I scored 31.44. Vision like Abhyas, that like they conduct it just 1 month prior to the prelims. 31. And I scored around 95 that year. 95, 31, where is 31 and where is 95? And 95, it was like some extraordinary score in 2023. The cutoff itself was 75. Now I scored 96 something. That is, don't care about marks. Why are you calculating your marks? Let's say you scored 115 mark and on examination day, you didn't clear prelims. Does your marks count? They don't count at all. Marks are there only for analysis. Even if you're counting your marks, you're wrong. Because let's say, as I told, there will be 70 good questions, 30 bad questions. You are calculating your marks 50 to 60 for these 100 questions, not for the 70 questions UPSC is focusing on. Not for the 70 questions that are in UPSC pattern. These 30 questions are redundant questions. But you are calculating your total marks for these total 100 questions. But you should be calculating your marks for 70 questions. Right? That is the basic idea. So don't worry about marks at all. And another thing, emotional mental, because see, your emotional regulation is also very important as a civil servant. That's the reason. What happens is that one bad mark, 3 days, I am depressed. Then I will give another mark. Again 3 days I am depressed. You're losing your time. Because there is someone who gave a mark and didn't get depressed and is doing another mark tomorrow. And you are losing out on the competition. So no comparison with others. No comparison with others is self-explanatory. Because in the end you are competing with yourself. If you are scoring 4 today, tomorrow your emphasis is to score 4.5. Let your competition be scoring 6 out of 10 marks in mains answers. Your focus should be to jump from 4 to 4.5. If you are scoring only 30 in mock today, your focus should be on getting that 31, not to worry that others are scoring 100. Right? So don't compare yourself, because everyone has a different starting point. Everyone has a different starting point, but the same end point. The same end point is the same. Your starting point can be different. See, like there is a concept called as exponential growth. That is mathematically 1.01 to the power 365. If you just improve by 1% every year, every day, for 365 days, that is 37.68. And if you reduce by every day, this is 1 will become 0.04. Means your focus should be on improving every day. Don't compare with your others. That's what. You have to stay calm, you have to stay stoic. Stoic is what? Under extreme pressure, remaining calm. That is called a stoic, being stoic. Because the same will be expected from you as a civil servant. Now covered almost everything. So here, like let's say what happens is that on PYQ analysis, I will explain it with an example. What happens is that quantum especially, like you will see this question, you will see these options, you will see the solution. My PYQ analysis done. That's not how it works. You have to take every keyword. What is quantum superposition? What do you mean by quantum states? What do you mean by quantum states? You may not know about it. Learn it. That is why you are there. What is quantum states? What is quantum entanglement? What is you mean by frequency shift? Every keyword in PYQ should be analyzed. What is decoherence? What is space-time curvature? This is how we should be approaching. Every keyword should be analyzed in PYQs. And then complement it with CDS, CAPF, geoscientist. Because CDS is also conducted by UPSC only. Oh, history, polity, some questions get directly repeated from CDS, CAPF only. You should be doing their PYQ analysis also. In mocks also, this should be your approach. Just looking at the model solution and thinking we have analyzed the mock is not how it works. This should be your approach even in mock analysis. See, like how many, like recently in Operation Sindoor also, even recently in Trump, also there is a concept called as grey zone warfare. What do you know? Do you know what is grey zone warfare? Grey zone warfare is, there is black, there is white. Grey zone lies in the middle. So what happens is that war is happening, but it is happening in non-conventional ways. Cyber attack, war is happening, but they are using terrorists. They are not army, right? War happens between two armies. But rather than fighting between two armies, they are using something in between. They are using civilians for warfare. Maybe Delhi bomb attack. If you know, Delhi bomb attack was urban terrorism. They are using doctors, they are using civilians. This is called as grey zone warfare. So if you know about that concept, now just imagine, let's say you don't know grey market trading at all. Now read the examples. Do you really think you will be covering every economics terms there is? You won't be. But you know grey zone warfare, you are thinking how to connect grey zone warfare. So you saw the word grey. You didn't know grey zone warfare also. But in one mock you learnt about grey zone warfare. Now in the real prelims, there is a question on grey market trading. Now look at the options. Now you will be able to come to a better conclusion than before. If you didn't know at all, now you would be able to come to a better conclusion. You wouldn't be able to completely guess it. You may not be. But you will be able to, your probability of getting the correct answer increases. So this is what people ask, sir, current affairs I am not getting it right, how to improve? Practice. Identify pattern. Link. I am interlinking right now. See, grey market trading, what is the answer? You only got it right. Did you know grey market trading before? You didn't, but you got it right. How? Pattern identification. This is what prelims is about, pattern identification, probability mapping. Yeah, so if you want to join the group, please join. Overall, and also another thing, newspapers. People ask me whether we should read newspaper also. Newspaper should be read only after your phase 2. Did you understand? That is, after you completed your reading, first reading, NCERT books, standard books and all, then you are doing you have done PYQ analysis. Then you should start reading newspaper. If you start from day one of your preparation also, you don't know what to read. You are reading every article, you are spending 3-4 hours on newspaper only. And if you are not reading at all, you are not developing that your own critical thinking. What is the difference between you and someone who is writing both that same test, looking at the same model solutions? You won't be able to stand out. Your examples won't be contemporary. Your examples will be the examples that is given by some random coaching rather than your own examples. Newspaper should also be read. In interview, like newspaper is compulsory. I don't know anyone who has said newspaper is not necessary for interview. The same way for mains also, for value addition, newspaper becomes important. You should start reading newspaper after PYQ analysis, because you know what to read now. You know how to look for examples. You know how to inculcate your examples in your points. For example, while reading newspaper only, I came across something called as Gruha Arogya Yojana in Karnataka. Gruha Arogya is what? They will go to their home, they will provide the health facilities, they will provide testing and all, like this. So Gruha Arogya, I wrote it in healthcare. Unique example from my own state I am writing. Let's say everyone is writing PM, what is that? PMJAY, Jan Arogya Yojana, Ayushman Bharat. I am writing Gruha Arogya. I am standing out. I am getting the tough marks. This is the game. Newspaper should be read, and you shouldn't spend more than 1.5 hours on newspaper. You should be selective. You will be selective only if you have analyzed PYQs. Newspaper also non-negotiable, because newspaper develop your own thinking. See, what is newspaper? Just like topper copy analysis, you are also analyzing some articles, editorials by someone like M.K. Narayanan sir, who was the former NSA, National Security Advisor. You are analyzing the editorials of agriculture economists and all. Economists, agriculturalists, Ashok Gulati sir. Ashok Gulati writes a lot of editorials in Indian Expresses on the agriculture. You will be getting better statistics, you will be getting better understanding about agriculture. Rather than getting bookish understanding, you will be getting conceptual understanding. So enjoy it, enjoy the process. Be very curious. Don't look it as an exam. Agriculture, what should be the solution? See, I am grateful to my optional PUBAD for that reason. What is PUBAD? Public administration is what you are learning from someone else. That's it. Public administration. In India, digital governance came, e-governance came. Now Germany is adopting from us. Like in India, direct benefit transfer came. We adopted it from Bolsa family of Brazil. In Kerala, one panchayat is there, which is announced as the carbon neutral panchayat. Everyone is trying to adopt that. In Karnataka, like in Gujarat, there is Sujalam Sufalam initiative from Israel, inspired from Israel. Public administration is what? Getting that experience, learning from others, inculcating and implementing in our district as a DC. You will also be doing the same when you become a DC, right? Like you may have, if you have read ethics and all, you may have known about some IAS officers. For example, in Rajasthan, one IAS officer brought in something called as Padai with AI. She is bringing new initiatives. Then in one IPS officer brought in AI for personal management. So how many should be allotted in year for VIP management? How many should be allotted for investigation? He brought in AI. So as a IAS IPS officer, you will also be taking initiatives like that. You have to learn it from somewhere. That learning mindset, the growth mindset. From where will it happen? It will happen during your preparation phase only. You may not realize it. Consciously, subconsciously, it will happen. But you should have that curiosity. Agriculture. Oh, everyone is, like for example, R&D. Everyone will write India as 0.7 R&D investment. Then let's say someone else is writing about some unique factor. Then they will get good marks, right? So that is how. So think, see, in the end, you have to be better than others, and you have to be better than yourself, which was the yesterday, which was yesterday's yours. Both the factors are there. If you are focusing on being better than yesterday, You are already becoming better than others. Because what happens is that there are two learning curves mathematically. One is the curve of stagnation. So after reaching a certain stage, everyone will experience growth from the beginning. They become stagnant here. That's what, like I told you, right? Polity revising 10 times, Lakshmikant. Because you are not gaining anything new. Because you are not being curious enough. But there is some other graph which goes like this. This is exponential graph, this is stagnation graph. It is your choice. Which one do you wanna become? So, yeah, so final suggestions, final 3-4 suggestions. Hard work is non-negotiable. If anyone says so, don't believe it. Don't believe that 5-6 hours is sufficient. You need to put in those dedicated hours. So that is, you need that because the competition has become brutal. Another is don't hesitate. Because maybe if you had asked your mentor for that one suggestion, maybe if you asked your peer for one guidance, you could have saved 2-3 years of your preparation. You could have got that 1 marks extra. Right? In my case, I did that mistake. I could have asked for better guidance, I didn't. And I lost 1 marks. You shouldn't do the same. Why I am here? I am here so that you shouldn't be committing the same mistakes I did. Why all toppers are here? Toppers are here because they want you not to commit the mistakes they did. That is the reason why I am not blaming anyone. That is the reason why in Karnataka people clear in their 5th, 6th attempt. That is because one, there is no proper ecosystem, proper guidance that needs to be improved. Another thing is that we hesitated. We didn't know whom to seek. We didn't know whom to go for. Even if they wanted to, in the early years during COVID and all, they didn't have guidance. They had to do everything on their own. They had to commit every mistake. The third way to gain wisdom is through experience, which is the bitterest. They had to go commit every mistake and learn from it. Get inspired. Gain wisdom through introspection, through inspiration. Then you won't be taking. I took 4 years. You won't be taking 4 years. You will be taking 1.5 years, 2 years. That's what I'm telling. So another thing, one is hard work. Another is don't hesitate at all. Be bold enough. Be courageous enough. You want to ask for very silly mistakes, silly questions. Be courageous enough. Like, have you met any topper, any mentor who said that I can't guide you? If you ask them, they have guided you right. And at the same time, don't go to mentors thinking they are the elixir. They have all the solutions. The only solution is your hard work. They are just there to give you the right direction. That's it. In the end, it's all your hard work only. And another thing is that plan accordingly. Those who are failing to plan will plan to fail. If you don't have a plan, you are doomed. You are 100% you are doomed. You will be failing if you don't have a plan. Just because like you are reading something, suddenly like your friend sent to you, oh, from this PDF, they are asking 50 questions. Suddenly you left whatever you are studying, you are going for a new plan. Don't do that. Trust the process. Trust yourself. And enjoy the process. That's it. Enjoy the process. Every topper says. But after coming here saying that is easy. But what do we mean by enjoy the process? Is that be curious. Have that learning mindset. How to be better than anyone. How to beat the competition. Have that passion. See, if you don't have the passion. See, another example I was discussing with ma'am also is that why do less people clear from Karnataka, UPSC? Why do very less people? I told you right, why do so many people clear from Rajasthan, Bihar, UP? The reason is that, like just think, Karnataka has the best educational ecosystem in India. No other state has as good as ecosystem as Karnataka. Even Kerala has very good primary and secondary education. But graduation level, Karnataka has the best. That is why so many medical colleges, nursing colleges are filled with Kerala people in Karnataka. Karnataka has the best engineering colleges, right? Easily. Karnataka has the best medical colleges in India. Karnataka has the best BSc, agricultural colleges, GKVK, then Dharwad University. Karnataka has, even if you take BA, BCom, anything, compared to any other state, we have the best ecosystem. Then we should be producing 70, 80 IAS people, UPSC clearing. But we have only 22. Kerala has 49, Tamil Nadu has 62, and UP BR have 100, like that. Why? Why? Because UPSC, they haven't made UPSC their necessity. You have to fight as if it is your life that you are fighting for. Then you won't get saturated, you won't get demotivated. You have to make the exam your life for first 2-3 attempts, then you can think of backups. But first 2-3 dedicated years, you have to make it as if you are fighting for your life. Otherwise, those who are fighting for their life will get through. 12th fail movie, you have seen, right? Like 15 hours he used to spend in mill, 6 hours he used to study, 3 hours he used to sleep. Why? Because of that compulsion factor. In Karnataka, we have good backups. 3 years we will try UPSC. If we don't crack, we will go to software. Right? 3 years we will try. If you don't clear, my uncle has some company, we will go there. Especially in South Karnataka, almost the HDI. Almost everyone is well off compared to other areas, South Karnataka. That is why the highest number of people are from Yadgiri. Yadgiri, if you look at the 10th, 12th results, they are at the 30th place. 30th place. Yadgiri has one of the lowest human development indicators in Karnataka, in India level. In India level, the maternal mortality rate, infant mortality rate, literacy rate, everything is low in Yadgiri. But this year, highest number from Yadgiri only. The reason is that they don't have any other backups. They have to fight it as if it's their life. If you give such fight, then you will succeed. Because in the end, there are only 330 IAS, IPS positions. You see, like, I don't have to go that far. Like, just take the example of in front of Grace only, one girl will be selling Pani Puri. She is preparing for UPSC. She is from Tamil Nadu. She came here for UPSC preparation, but for her maintenance, she is selling Pani Puri for 3-4 hours. After that, like, I asked her, how many hours are you studying? Sir, I am studying around 14 hours. So 18 hours, she is sleeping. He is managing everything within 6 hours. Sleeping, food, everything. The competition is like that. There are more passionate, more dedicated people. You have to show that passion. You have to make it as your compulsion. Otherwise, it would be too difficult. So that's what. This is another suggestion. Enter UPSC only if you have that clarity. Otherwise, don't enter at all. Why are you wasting your 2-3 years of your golden life? I will just give it a try. If I clear, well and good. If I don't clear, my mama's industry is there. Don't be like that. Enter. Like, why are you wasting 2-3 years of your life? You can be doing something else, right? Enter with passion. And also, this is the same question I asked to like so many students. They say that like I am passionate from 10th, 12th only. Then in engineering, final year you will get time. In so many of like in any degree you will get some time, 2-3 hours every day for completely free, which you will be doing. What you will be doing is that Insta shorts, YouTube shorts. During those 2-3 hours, see, I started my preparation from my final year, and I was in final year only. Before that only I started, but final year was my full focused preparation. Maybe I could clear early because of that final year preparation. See, that's what. And also, like, if you get saturated and all, watch biography based movies. See, I am saturated, sir. I have read for 14 hours a day. What should I do? Like, I have 2 hours. Any Hollywood biography based movies is 2 hours. See, as you watch biography based movies, you will be getting inspired from their struggle. How many of you, like many of you got inspired from 12th fail? Then the same way, Dangal, MS Dhoni. You like feel it as an inspiration, right? Because the hero is going through a lot of struggle. And then they are overcoming that and they are achieving success. Then what would happen is that you would stop worrying about the silly issues that you have in your life. Some issue happened, you are wasting your one day. Then you will think of, oh, that person went through that many struggles and still achieved it. Why can't I? See, that is what we require as a civil servant, right? So that is why. So never compromise on your hard work, never lose your passion. Passion is the only solution for your underconfidence. Have the growth mindset. That is, this year I am not clearing prelims. Next year I will clear prelims. I will also work on mains. Where did I go wrong? For example, I scored 190 in PubAd, which is the one of the lowest scores for those who gave interview in 2024. Lowest scores, one of the. But like, I discussed with ma'am, I discussed with sir, everyone. Then I was like, where did I go wrong? How could I improve? I could I get that 1 marks, half marks extra? I'm not boasting myself. I'm just giving you whatever the thought process that I went through. That is, then I was able to improve by 80 marks. That's what. So have that growth mindset, have that passion. If you have passion, anything, any negative energy won't come around you. Your relatives will be like, oh, she is already 26, she should get married. He is 24, 25, he should be looking after his family rather than family providing financial support to him. There will be negative energy around you. There will be. But the only way to beat that negative energy is to have unwavering passion and dedication. The only solution is that. That is what, like, so these are some of the suggestions from me. So I have tried to cover everything. So I guess most of your doubts regarding UPSC are cleared by now. If you have any doubts, you can reach out to me on Telegram channel. Like you can reach out to me personally as well. So in the end, it's all about karma. If he help us, you today, you, like I will, like maybe God will help me in some way. The same way, if you share your wisdom with your friends, those who are beginning now, you will gain some karma, good karma. That is, like for me, I was able to score very well in interview this year, only because I used to take answer writing classes for free after my mains. Every day I used to speak for 2 hours. For 4 months, I spoke for 4 months. Today I am this confident. When I started my answer writing classes and all, I was like nervous, I was not getting the right words. That used to happen. Because I did something good, maybe like God also blessed me with something good. The same way, like keep believing in that good work. See, most of us are from humble families. Most of us have genuine goodwill that we want to do something good for our nation, good for our society. Then why are you underconfident? You should be the one who is, say, an IAS. You should be the one. You are the one who understands the heartbeat of the rural India, who understand the struggles of the people who don't have voice. You are the people. You should be the one who is becoming IAS. Why you think that you are not deserving enough? If you are not deserving enough, UPSC will make you deserving enough. Don't worry about that. Just have that curiosity. See, like, there are so many my peers only who are from, like, if you look at the Karnatakas, those who got selected, almost all of us are from very humble backgrounds only. Nivedita, or take anyone, like Basaraj, everyone is from very humble background. Sandeep Badadanna, who scored 82, is from a very humble background. The exam is not for the rich. Exam is not for some elite ICSE students. Exam gives a level playing field for everyone. Doesn't matter whether if you are from Kannada medium, whether you are from poor background, it doesn't matter. How much efforts are you putting? How much curiosity are you showing? How much growth are you growing every day? That is what matters. If they said that I am not from Kannada, sir, I am from Kannada medium, so I am struggling. Then work on your English. Don't your background become your weakness. If you are from Kannada medium, work on your English. That's the only solution. Do you think as an IAS IPS officer you can go to crowd and say, I don't know English? You can't. That is why, if you have any weaknesses, the UPSC is trying to correct during the examination cycle itself. Then you would be deserving enough for clearing the exam. That is why don't take it as an exam, take it as your life. How can you improve? Read biography-based movies, watch biography-based movies, read biography-based books, any books, motivational books. Read Bhagavad Gita. You don't have to be that like bookworm. You have to be deserving in all the aspects. See, like in my case only, when I graduated final year, I was short-tempered, I was arrogant. UPSC like fails you so much that you will become humble. Anyone, UPSC will make you humble. That's what I'm trying. UPSC, that's what I'm telling. UPSC will build you those qualities. Don't worry. Just be not flexible. Just be adaptable enough to what UPSC requires from you. So this is all it is from my side. So thank you all for attending. Hope you gained from this session. So yeah, thank you.
What an engrossing session, isn't it? We've been in more than 3 hours. I have a lot of experience. I mean, from 2005 to till now in the field of UPSC. But still I was so much engrossed in whatever he was talking about. And very important thing he highlighted is that if you see the topper's copy of 2020, that really catched my mind. If you are seeing the topper's copy of 2020 and getting inspired from that copy, you might not be able to set a good example. You might not be able to write properly or appropriately in your mains. So that's really very important, which he highlighted. So if you are looking at the toppers copy, because now the toppers has become much more smart with the advent of chat GPT and AI, they are able to bring good examples. And he told one more thing, particularly in the mains, what you told regarding points example, right? Yes, paper format, which is very, very important. You have to substantiate your answer. So, in and all, it's a very comprehensive session, isn't it? Very comprehensive, very detailed. And I'm very hopeful that all of you who are sitting here or all of you, those who are watching online, would get definitely benefited from this session, as he has shared a lot of inputs. He has given a lot of inputs, and most importantly is particularly for UPSC is being curious. You have to be very curious, like a child, that earlier I was not knowing this, now I am knowing it. Right? You have to take a lot of interest in the studies. And also he mentioned regarding if you have any weakness, like for example somebody coming from Kannada medium, and I being a mentor, I have personally seen how somebody from Kannada medium, this time All India rank 641, Sagar, he's from Kannada medium, okay, and he scored 190 marks in the interview. Last year Hanumantappa Nandi, he scored 180 marks in the interview, coming from a very rural background, and very humble, from a tribal community, and getting 180 marks in the interview. It is not a joke. Even some elite student, as Manoj has mentioned, it is not a cup of an elite, somebody who can work really hard. That is, those person only can crack UPSC. The elite people, they will give up under the pressure. So, I've seen personally people coming from Kannada medium, they have secured very good marks because they were ready to improve. They never made their shortcoming, or they never kept on crying or nagging on the shortcomings, but they overcame their shortcomings. I've seen how Hanumantappa Nandi, why I'm mentioning, because I've seen him in the mock interview. I felt that how come this person can become IAS? He's not able to speak properly. And we had a session. Why? Because I wanted that such people, as Manoj said, people from humble background, they really work hard. And the person who comes from such a disadvantaged section of society, clearing the mains, definitely has a lot of potential. We called him, and to my surprise, he learnt very fast in just 2 sessions. And even I would talk about Sagar A this time. Just 2 sessions. They improved tremendously. So everybody has that potential. Maybe the right direction, right guidance, it helps. Right? And belief. belief in oneself, which is most important. As Manoj, kept on emphasizing, by giving one mock or so, we get depressed. I'll not be able to do it. Maybe, they start doubting. Everybody doubt themselves at one point of time. But then you have to overcome that doubt through right approach, right study. So all in all, this session has been very, very comprehensive, very wonderful, fantastic, great session, excellent session. Very comprehensively, he has covered each part of the examination, prelims, mains, interview. And if you just follow what he has said with your own introspection, definitely all of you are going to make it. All of you are going to make it. Believe in yourself and work with the passion. As Manoj said, that there are very less students coming from Karnataka. One of the reason is that lack of passion. They don't work with that kind of passion. And somewhere they don't believe themselves. This time again, I would give an example of Sagar A. It was his 6th attempt. I asked Sagar, did you feel that kind of stressed that you are not able to make it? He told, ma'am, yes, I was not able to make it. That was a really concern. But what kept me going was that at least GS I was doing good. Somewhere CSAT was blocking me. And the good part was that he was already in, as a PSI, he got into job, in Bidhan Sauda, he got some assistant job. So there was some kind of backup, one thing. And secondly, he told, ma'am, I never doubted myself. I knew that there's some shortcoming, some issues is happening, I have to work upon that. And this time, in a single go, he cracked his prelim, cracked his main, got 190 marks interview, got the final rank. It is not that, he got stopped in the mains or he got stopped at the final label. In one go, cracked it. But what was stopping him? CSAT. So that is where, he told that, yes, probably I could have worked it earlier on CSAT. But anyway, he made it with lot of self-belief coming from Kannada medium. He told that. But getting 190 marks in the interview, which many very fluent in English, they may not have got 190 marks. They would have struggled to get 130, 40, 150 marks. So anybody coming from the regional medium, please don't make it your obstacle. Don't limit your capacity or capability because you come from a Kannada medium. It's all your hard work, it's your dedication, it's your passion. With the right guidance, with the right approach, anybody can reach to the goal of success. Thank you, all the very best. After the session, if anybody, they want to seek mentorship, they can meet us, they can meet our counselor. If any kind of issues you are facing in your prelims, particularly CSAT, I would like to talk about. Many people, they are failing in the CSAT. Somewhere they are getting good marks in the GS, but somewhere they are getting at the stuck at the CSAT. So somewhere they are adopting a faulty strategy probably. Okay. So please follow the right direction, right approach. If anything is making or is an obstacle in your path, remove that obstacle with the right approach and you'll reach your goal of success. Your dream of becoming IAS, your dream of joining Indian bureaucracy. Thank you. All the very best. And a big round of applause for Manoj GS, who has taken such an insightful, enlightening session. Thank you.
And I have to thank the Grace AS family as well for providing this opportunity, for providing this platform. And as I mentioned in mains, in everywhere, the right direction matters, especially Sanju ma'am has 4 interview experiences. So I guess one of the highest in, especially in Bengaluru ecosystem. So she has gone through this process and she knows the process in and out. So you can talk to your mentors, you can reach out or you can reach out to us. So don't hesitate for that guidance. That will surely help you put the right effort in the right direction. And in the end, I want to thank you all for coming here. So because maybe you are who keep me inspiring, because in the end tomorrow if you get succeeded, maybe that's my success also, right? So
that also. So in the end, I want to conclude by saying that I always talk in quotes. So one quote from Manoj Sharma sir, Manoj Kumar sir, who is a Paramvira Chakra award in 1999 during Kargil war. What he said is that if death strikes before I prove my death, if death strikes before I prove myself, I swear I will kill death. So did you understand it? That is, don't even death stop you from reaching your goal. So want it so bad enough that in the end, even death doesn't have option rather than waiting for you to achieve it. So that's my suggestion. So thank you all. Thank you.
So I hope the session was very useful. One thing I wanted to announce, we are starting a new prelims cum mains batch on this 13th. So if you want to join, or else you know anybody who are interested to join, you can refer the Grace IS. Or if you are already taken the coaching, you can also join for the mentorship program. The one special thing about Grace IS is we have very small size batch. So from this year also 30 plus candidates have successfully cleared the UPSC CSE 2025. So if you need proper guidance to reach your goal in any stage, prelims, mains or interview, you can reach out to the Grace IS. Grace IS team will always ready to help you guys. Thank you and all the very best.